Welcome back to Shonen Pulse, a podcast dedicated to reviewing multiple manga from various different magazines. I'm Yotagami, and I'm joined today with my three co-hosts, Nox,
You're
Papa Traffy,
Yo.
and the Greek Weep.
Hello, everyone.
This week, we have some banger chapters to discuss, and we hope you guys enjoy the episode. Of course, if you do, then make sure to hit the like button. And if you aren't already subscribed, do us a big favor and change that for us. If you aren't caught up with each of the manga we cover here, don't worry. There will be timestamps below so you can skip around to segments that you are caught up on. And with that, we will be starting off today with Chainsaw Man Chapter 179, Vam Vaga.
Hamburger.
Go ahead and I'll let you take it. Weeb, what you think?
I am concerned.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought you were gonna say like I am Vam Vaga. Like I was good. I thought you were doing like a Batman
They're
thing.
gonna
Yo,
get destroyed.
Bro. Yeah.
They're gonna get destroyed. The aging devil is so fucking strong.
Yeah.
Bro.
Just off that, it stopped like a supersonic giant finger bullet and just aged it to dust.
Bro.
And it just stopped in midair with just a single wave of its hand.
Yeah. Seeing the real quick, Yato, my bad. Seeing the
You sure?
finger. Remember the conversation that we were having like last chapter about like
Yeah.
the shell casing representation of the finger like falling and that whole panel breakdown or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now that I'm seeing the bullet like right on the aging
Bruh.
devil's face, I think we might have to like give that to Traffy from the last conversation, because like
Well,
there's still a
that's even
chance.
right.
There's still a chance that like the finger is a bullet and the finger falling panel from last chapter still represents a shell casing. But just like seeing the bullet like this, like right next to his face, had me like, we were wrong for a second.
I still think we're right, brother. Screw that other guy.
All right, fine.
Look,
Get back.
when y'all mentioned that it was it falling, the first thing that came to mind is like when you see in movies when they fire like a giant missile or torpedo or something, when it comes out, it falls and then it propels, and that's
Right.
just how I saw the finger shooting off.
No,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense. That makes
That
sense.
makes
But it's still team shell casing, bitch. Anyway.
Yeah, it's still because you know anytime anybody ever fires any kind of firearm, you got the shit that pops out. It falls on the
Yeah.
ground. It goes ting a ling a ling. That's
Yeah.
what that was. You know, and the bullet is just big as fuck, and it's just.
Yeah.
You know, also jumping back to the conversation we had last week where it was just like, is the Chainsaw Man just tank it, bro? Like the size of this thing, like that
Yeah.
shit, he is
illustrated.
durable. He's
Last-
durable as fuck, because that shit, the
Yeah.
big as this bullet is, that shit would turn anything into mist.
Literally.
Mhm.
But the last thing that I want to say about last week's chapter and the conversation we had is that what really seals the deal for me that is a shell casing was the fact that it was smoking and like the background effect with like the motion lines like falling down and slanted like fucking rain or whatever. Just the way
Yeah.
that was presented visually just screams like a shell casing popped out the fucking magazine and like fell to the ground to me. So that's the last thing I'm gonna say. But Traffy, I just wanted to say this shit had me thinking twice. And you're wrong. But anyway.
Something else I was right about. Something else I was right about.
What?
I told y'all he wouldn't eat the aging devil. Y'all questioned it, and I was like, nah, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to review the tape because I feel like I didn't think he was gonna do it either. But we'll review the tape on that.
You might have that one.
Nah,
Because I think I remember that low key.
no Traffy W's today, brother.
Why?
Traffy will never get a W. We will just deny.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Make it a running thing.
Laffy.
Yeah, Laffy is crazy.
Laffy duck.
Laffy Taffy.
Yo. So yeah, man. Just jumping back to the start of the chapter though. Vam Vaga, man. We jump back to Pochita. He's doing his crawl thing. The beginning of this chapter was so funny to me because like at the end of last chapter, we get the aging devil, you know, pouring blood into Pochita's mouth, and he's like, you know, eat me one by one or whatever. And like the first thing he does is like he gets some blood. And you think he's gonna like bite a leg or something, you know, follow instructions, but no, he gets his arms back. So the little bit of blood gave him enough to grow his arms back. He pulls the cord so he can like I guess, regen a little bit. But then he just keeps crawling some more. And it reminded me of that shit. You guys ever seen that picture where the guy is like crawling in the desert and he's like, water, water. And then he finds like a bottle of Dasani. And then he keeps crawling, water, because nobody likes Dasani, apparently, is a thing.
Yeah.
But like, that's immediately what I thought of. He's like, blood. Somebody gives him blood. And then he's like, eat me. And he's like, blood, please. Anybody but this guy.
Nah, for real. And on page 4, when the aging devil is like, is your head completely empty? I saw somebody on Twitter say that the aging devil was giving this nigga Denji back shots. We might have to get that motherfucker banned.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna go do some research after this and find that account. We're after you, buddy.
Oh,
bro.
Jesus, Jay, wow.
He ain't got a back to give shots to.
Yeah, his back been shot all out already. Yeah.
Okay, tell me something.
Yeah.
With the continued emphasis on the blood, what percentage do you think that this is Fujimoto trying to get our hopes up into thinking that we'll get a version of power back?
We were talking about that last week too, I think.
Yeah. Week before that, I think.
We were, but
yeah.
But since he's still going for it.
I'm still 110%. I don't care what happens. If the series ends next chapter, I'm still gonna say blood's coming back the next chapter.
Oh God, we're 10 toes for power game. Hold
11
on.
toes. I got an extra one.
Here's something that I'm curious about. At the end of part 1, Denji had a bit of Power's blood, and then he did the whole like chainsaw with her blood. You think because imagine if Denji like some of Power's blood is still in Denji, like circulating and stuff like that. I'm going full on conspiracy theory here. What if the Blood Devil shows up, drinks some of Denji's blood, and somehow gets the memories of Power back?
That would be ice water. I'm not going to hold you. That's kind of tinfoil hat level, but I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I'm
with anything that has the Blood Devil coming back. But I don't know if I spoke about it last time when I was talking about like my thoughts about how Denji holding the blood sign was like bring back power. But my thoughts originally were that like the Blood Devil would come back and Denji would find out, like Denji would know that the Blood Devil was on Earth, but it wouldn't remember him, and he would spend his days like chasing the Blood Devil down, trying to like get it to, hey, it's me, we were buddies, and trying to like get it to remember him, and it would just keep like fleeing from him until it eventually met its end, dying to Asa, and he would see that, and it would cause like Asa and Denji to have this crazy beef. But like, I don't know, man. Like any kind of scrap, like give me the Blood Devil. Because I just need it, but I need there to be like drama. Like excuse me, stutters. The devil, they lose their memories and stuff when they die and go to hell and come back. So it's like they wouldn't remember him. So
yeah,
there's got to be something there.
I would just love it if like the new Blood Devil was just acted the exact same way, same personality, same mindset as Power, no changes in that, like how we first met her, and then she just tries to rebuild that connection some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's like
that'd be nice. Though with where we are in the manga, maybe Denji having something happy happen to him probably would be better.
I mean, the guy had a family. He had dogs and a fucking stepsister or whatever the fuck. But like shit, Denji's life just can't be good. And,
it sucks.
Yeah, his life, he's not allowed to have happiness. What's up, Trey?
What if Power comes back and Asa gets jealous?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just felt like there was going to be a rift between Denji and Asa because of the Blood Devil situation, and I really still just want that to happen. But like, things have kind of escalated to a very far point now. So like,
hey, low key, if Power comes back, it's fuck Asa. I don't give a fuck. See you later, buddy.
So yeah, it wouldn't be Power, and it's very possible that they would come back as a guy, because they're devils. Like, they don't have to pop back in they just hopped in that body. But like, imagine a dude Blood Devil, and it's like, bro, get and they're like treating Denji like he's a weirdo, like, bro, get off me, dog. What are you doing, man? Like, I don't fucking know your ass. It's like, but we're friends. But
I mean, the likelihood of it being like the Power that we know is very low, since Power was technically a fiend, and by now her body's going to be completely rotted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's impossible. It would be a new person, but I think it would be fun for Denji, because Denji wasn't given that exposition. That was something that like we found out the devils like come back and to get their memories. That was something Angel told to like Aki, I think. So I don't think Denji knows, but he would probably try his hardest. Like he would see, finding out the Blood Devil. He'd probably hear it on a radio show or something, or see
No, I
crazy
think
blood attacks.
No, I think. I mean, I think in terms of like Denji knowing that Blood Devil won't have memories. I'm pretty sure Power told him that if they meet again, they won't have the memories.
Oh, maybe that
At the end of
did
part one.
happen.
Damn, did they say that?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm pretty sure.
I think he's right, unfortunately. But on the bright side, I feel like it'd be cool to have Denji like try though. Like, please, you have to remember me. But back to the chapter, is your head completely empty? So Aging Devil is really tired of everybody's shit.
And he's like actively crushing Pochita's head while he's holding it.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
He's very much.
I mean, the guy wanted sacrifices of children.
Yeah,
I think Dick is being nice.
It's an understatement.
Yeah. Yoru, I guess like Yoru, I'm still kind of feeling like Yoru might be like immature, not just immature, but young. Like, do they not realize? Maybe it's the distance, but like, do they? How does she not realize who the Aging Devil is? She's like, that devil is trying to steal my glory. It's like, that's not just any devil, brother. This is a big deal.
That's actually a really interesting thing to bring up, because I never really thought about like Yoru's age in relation to like other devils, or especially the Aging Devil here. Like the Aging Devil has got to be like, one of the oldest ones. Like that can probably play like directly into the personality that we're seeing here, where he's like, you niggas are just fucking children to me. Like, you guys are so lame. Like, like imagine going to an arcade as like a 60-year-old grumpy old like jaded man, and seeing like everyone like kill it on DDR and like play, like Initial D or like whatever racing game or something like that. And it's just like, bro, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. What am I doing here? You guys are lame as hell.
Yeah,
this is fun to y'all, type shit.
Yeah. Like, listen, like the new kids listening to all this crazy music, and it's like, bro, what is this garbage? Like, I'm starting to feel it,
Yeah.
Now that I'm getting older, but
screaming at the clouds and shit, get off my lawn.
All right, we're gonna get there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Trappy. What were you gonna say?
So, like, I think there's a mixture of Asa being a relatively young devil, or Yoru being a young devil, but I think it's also a mixture of Asa's personality, because, like, we learned with the whole Denji back alley situation that their feelings are intertwining. Like, they're becoming more of the same person, and I feel like the immaturity is something she's picking up from Asa.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because we were talking about that like last chapter too, I think.
Yeah. Like, Yoru is, of course, I mean, she could be younger for a devil, but she's not young. She's definitely old. So the immaturity to her seems more like a teenager, which would fit Asa's character.
Yeah. I'm thinking that Yoru's probably like, if they're all hundreds of years old, then Yoru's probably like the youngest of the four horsemen, probably still several hundred years older than obviously older than stuff like the Bat Devil and shit, or maybe not, but like war's been around for a long time, so it's like that concept of war has been around, but not longer than people aging and dying and things decaying and stuff. So she's not nearly as old. It just surprised me that she looks at this devil and doesn't realize who it is when she's a big dog in the devil world.
Damn, that just made me think of like another thing too, because it's like the Bat Devil, right? It's like bats have been around like longer than people, probably. So you probably have like other animals that are just like instinctively like afraid of bats or whatever, for whatever reason, as far as like the food chain goes and like prey and predator relationships and whatnot. But a lot of these like other devils like need humans in order for there to even be fear, because we're the only like animals that can like comprehend things like aging and things like that. So it's like maybe the Aging Devil isn't even as old as I once thought he was. But
okay,
because it's like you literally need like human level cognitive function in order to fear some of these things that aging or death,
because like a dog isn't thinking about like dying old or whatever. It's just
darkness and shit. Like a lot of these devils probably only like somewhere around like 150,000 years old or some shit.
True.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just a crazy situation, and just I was very shocked by how fast Yoru was able to immediately fire another round. Like, that shit happened instantly. She got the body back and it's like boom, bullet again, bitch. Like crazy,
Yeah.
crazy
It
It didn't
speed.
waste a second.
Yeah, no time wasted immediately. I got the power. I am not wasting that shit. But
Yeah, in case this
this,
bitch try to take her body back, bang.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was really crazy to have Asa and Yoru have this conversation, and Yoru's like, "Give me my body back." Like this isn't your body. Her
Yeah, you're tweaking
immaturity.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
like she's really getting blinded by the goal here with the goal, the line being right in front of her face. She's kind of just forgetting. She hasn't gone like feral yet, and but she's screaming and she's taking
Yeah.
possession of the body, and it was never your body.
Just
So-
adding on to like how scared Asa, because we had a conversation I think last chapter about Asa kind of remembering that Yoru is a devil and like what that means in the grand scheme of things and whatnot. Because like we had a conversation about how like maybe because of the scenes that we've kind of had with them lately in the story, it might be easy for Asa to forget exactly what devil really means in this situation until we get to this circumstance now where Yoru has Chainsaw Man in their sights and whatnot, and what that brings out of Yoru to remind Asa of this devil human relationship that's going on here and how scared that kind of made her. She's like, oh yeah, this thing is a fucking devil, and she was like shook to the core of that. So imagine like that plus Yoru saying, give me my body back. It's like, oh, this bitch thinks this is fucking her body or whatever now. Like, oh my god, like she's probably even more scared now hearing something like that. Like just think about like if you were Asa and you heard that, like, wait, she like it thinks it's their body now, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like what does this mean for the future like of our relationship if she's saying things like this?
Yeah, and like, so one of the things that I saw people talking about is the "You're afraid of me, Asa, that hurts" line. They were saying that Yoru was being manipulative here, but the manipulation doesn't really work when they have like this wavelength. They know how each other
Yeah.
feel. So
True.
the look on Asa's face, I think, is her. She genuinely feels that Yoru is hurt by the fact that she's afraid of her, but because Yoru is immature, as soon as Asa gives her the body back, she's just like, oh well, I'll take advantage of this. Let's shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely a genuine thing. I think Yoru was actually really sad about it, but
Yeah,
like
I think that makes more sense too.
Yeah, but it's like if a kid is like playing with a toy and being really annoying with it, and you take it away, they're sad, and then you give it to them, and they're immediately going back to drumming on that drum or whatever. It's like you give them the drumstick, and they just banging on it again. It's like she immediately jumped back into it because it's like, haha, I got my toy back, and I can't wait to blast this idiot. So it's like two things can be true at once, and Asa and Yoru, their relationship, I do think is real, but Yoru still just doesn't care. Like she's a devil. She doesn't have the same concerns that a human does.
And I like that toy metaphor that you kind of just or analogy that you kind of just brought up, because it's like at the end of the day, like these are her children too.
Yeah.
So it's like if you see your children as playthings, like that like leans more into like the disconnect between human and devil, because like especially like as a father, it's like I would never see like my son, for example, as like something to be like toyed with or played with in that kind of like way. So it's just like a really interesting like character situation and character moment for this devil Yoru to kind of like contemplate like exactly what their outlook is in relation to these weapons of mass destruction that they're using on their arms, and the fact that they're literally it's children. It's just like such a weird like slimy feeling, low-key. It makes me kind of itchy.
And like it's I feel like it's a real narrative, like immature parents having children. They're not going to have like the established relationship of a mature parent because they themselves are still mentally children, I guess you could say. And I feel like this is kind of the same vibe you would get from that, is they would see their children more as something they own than their own people. Like it's
definitely. And we see that in the real world too, like shitty parents. Like I feel like we see like a different story every day across like social media apps of like the scum of the earth as parents, you know what I mean? Like what that what that, you know, kind of looks like and whatnot. It's just fucking wild to think about.
Yeah, for sure. This situation just, I mean, it just keeps getting worse and worse. But I really love these arms, and I just want to see what this does. Like when this is all over, if Yoru and Asa don't like die here, I want to see like if these arms stay or if they just like fly off, or you know how the arms affect Asa in her everyday life. Does she just have gun arms, and she accidentally, like, if she accidentally says bang, does she just blow her classroom to smithereens by accident or something?
Yeah, wow. What if she keeps the arms like after this? Then we got a little bit of a Black Clover reference going on here, dude.
All right,
Hey, Tabata's back. No, I'm kidding.
all right.
Next month.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. What
Oh,
you
really?
Wonderful.
Next month we get a Black Clover chapter? That's
I think we're
unfortunate.
I think we're getting 3. Somebody
3.
said.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Yeah.
3, so like 60 pages.
And that's
Yeah.
when the world will end.
Yeah, bro. Imagine the world is the day before. Yeah. All right, that'd be
Yep.
wild. What
I'm
you?
expecting the yummy fight.
Oh hell, nah. We ain't getting into that.
Yeah, chill.
That's
Anyway,
really
back to good manga. Back to good manga. Okay?
Good manga.
Oh brother.
No.
Oh brother. No. All right. Anyway, what you let me we kind of been talking over you for a minute, Weeb. What you got some thoughts, brother?
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Honestly, there's not too much I can really think of outside of the fact that you think we'll get like a three free for all between the Aging Devil, Chainsaw Man, and Yoru, or do you think it'll like end up being like a begrudging team up against the Aging Devil now?
I think the former is the least likely because the Aging Devil clearly looks like he can just fucking low diff everyone involved.
Very true.
Yeah, so I feel like it would have to be like a team up kind of thing if they have any chance at all, because like a free for all is just like this nigga looks like he could one tap both other combatants or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
'cause, like,
mean,
we gotta. This has to be set up to an extent to kind of like that first image we got of part 2. Yoru was holding a literal chainsaw. You think they'll find a way to just turn? You think the Denji turning into a weapon thing will like end up happening like at this point, or like towards the end? And but it'll only be temporary.
I always imagined it as like if it was going to happen that way. Like I definitely don't think Fujimoto introduces that idea without it eventually happening in some regard. Like it kind of feels like Chekhov's gun in that way.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
so like and obviously we have writing dedicated to the idea that Denji and Pochita can be separated in order to give Yoru what they want and give Asa what she wants. So it's like I was thinking that if Yoru did successfully turn Chainsaw Man, into a weapon, it would be that's how the separation of Denji and Pochita would kind of be represented.
I still just don't really trust this whole thing. Like even Asa is like, do you really think that shit'll work? And Yoru's just like, I do, because Yoru's just, she only sees go. Like she isn't stopping to think about like the consequences or what if this shit fails. To her, it's just a mission. She doesn't care who gets killed. Obviously, she fired a bullet that killed probably fucking billions of people from fucking New York to Japan. So like she does not care who gets in the fucking way of her destruction. And if she can turn the chainsaw into a weapon, she don't give a fuck what happened to Denji. That's not her mission. She did not come here to care about that kid.
I mean, at
Yeah,
this
that's true.
current point, Denji is kind of useless. Like,
Oh yeah.
who either someone's going to show up and give him blood. I mean, maybe Yoru does. I couldn't see Yoru doing that, but either someone shows up and gives him blood, or Yoru somehow finds a way to turn him into a weapon, because otherwise, he is useless in this situation.
Yeah, I don't see how they get out of this really without some sort of interference. I mean, but I can see Yoru, since there was some sort of interruption, I can see Yoru giving a little blood just because it's like I want to beat you at your best. Fighting me for real. You didn't even try. You ran and I shot you in the back. I want to kill you while you're trying, because she did like say, "Come fight me," and he ran off, and then she like sniped him. So I could see it only just because she would want to prove to herself that she actually beat him and didn't like sneak him in the back.
Yeah, on some like sensu bean type shit.
Yeah, like get your bitch ass up. Let's do this again, but like don't try to run, bruh. Like you fight me, and I'm gonna blow you to fucking smithereens.
Bitch, you bet not do no running.
Oh hell no. So when the aging devil caught this bullet, like I was for a second I had forgotten they were the aging devil, and I was like I was thinking like, are they the time devil? Because there's like these
Yeah, because he
sands and
stopped it. He like
Yeah.
stopped it
Yeah,
first and
yeah.
then put his hand on it and then
Yeah.
disintegrated it. So it's like, dog. Is that like
Yeah.
it reminded me of like Infinity or like Limitless, like Gojo type shit.
Yeah, I feel like Mr.
So-
Manhattan did some shit like this too at some
Dr.
point.
Manhattan definitely did some shit like this. Yeah.
Doctor, he got a PhD. I
Tin-
forgot.
tinfoil
yeah.
hat moment. But
Uh-huh.
if this was like him stopping time, what's the likelihood of Fujimoto introducing some kind of time mechanic into the series, and that loops Denji back into being the other Chainsaw Man?
Oh, interesting. See, now that you mentioned that, it makes me feel like since we have this like devil children concept introduced into the story, like maybe the time devil is like, you know, a child of the aging devil or vice versa or something like
Yeah.
that, and they're like related to a certain degree and can use each other's powers in some regard, kind of like
Definitely.
how Yuru is using you know, gun and tank or whatever the fuck we said.
Definitely just creates this situation where you're just always asking like, what is this like devil's goal and who are they working for, and like who are they possibly under? Like this devil, you know, they're doing the aging devil is doing all this, and their contract, you know, what they're getting out of this is just kids dying, but it's like, what else could there be? You know, what are you really here for besides like, you know, 30 different kids dying across the planet? There's got to be something more to it.
Oh shit,
could
the
just be-
children might tie back into like the idea that like older people are like jealous of youth. So it's like, man, fuck them kids.
Okay.
And
I just thought about
that.
that. That's random, but yeah.
A mixture of that, you know, like how the saying is like too young to die, and then he's purposely targeting children. It could be something to implicate more fear into the thought of aging, so he himself gets stronger.
Nah,
Okay.
seriously.
I
Like,
can
dude, this
see
is
that.
making me think so many things. But what's up with that, old niggas who are listening?
Oh hell
why
no.
why you hating on the youth so much, bro? Your time is up. Let them
We're
cook.
according to the statistics, we are within the old
No.
grouping.
No, we're unk status. We're not granddad status.
Okay,
Fuck
we
this
unk.
old ass nigga.
Big unk.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, big finger bullet type shit, man. This is a crazy thing. One more thing I personally had to say about this chapter was just the whole when the Asa and Yoru's conversation, and when you know, Asa is talking to Yoru, and Yoru's like, stop being afraid of me, you know, give me back my body, you idiot. And you know, after Yoru is like, you know, this shit hurts, then Asa has like a moment. I guess she like stopped being afraid because of that. Like, oh, you know, you're kind of still you got a little bit of humanity in you, so like you're not so bad. But like then Yoru immediately, you know, takes over and does this thing. And what if it's like, I'm just imagining a situation where where Asa kind of has this weird fear for herself, where it's like, how is Yoru able to do these things and I not feel afraid? Like, what if kind of like a reverse Yuji and Sukuna situation, where like Sukuna forced Yuji to witness, you know, the things and make him feel, you know, Yuji felt like he was at fault, like it was his fault that all this happened. But like Yoru and Asa situation, like it's she could easily stop this by being afraid, but because she isn't afraid, it's like, she could have this internal, you know, conflict with herself, where it's like, am I okay with this deep down? Like secretly, am I like okay with the world being fucking, you know, blown to bits by this crazy devil? Is like a crazy thought.
Well, yeah, it might be like a replacement effect where, like, you know, since it's all emotion based, it's like fear, you know, takes center stage in order for her to lose her ability to control, you know, the powers that she has or whatever. But then frustration sets in, or you know, a feeling of needing to protect people like sets in, like emotionally, and kind of replaces that fear for a moment and allows her to do, you know, whatever in any given situation, because fear kind of takes a back seat to, you know, the new emotion that's come up at the moment or whatever. Like, you know, maybe it's like a layered effect like that.
So
yeah, true.
Back towards the beginning of part 2, Asa did basically say she wanted to watch the world burn. So there could be some kind of that feeling coming back for her to be okay with the destruction that's occurring because she thinks the world's corrupt.
Wait, Asa said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But I'm just seeing it as a situation where it's like, people sometimes, get ready to go and take their lives. And then when they get to that point, it's like, oh, wow, I can't really do this. This is actually scary. So it's like in the moment saying like, fuck the world, this place sucks. It's like, yeah, it's easy to say. But when you actually are faced with the world, like when you're faced with the power to destroy the world and you don't blink, it's a scary thing. It's like, to have her be capable of this, I feel like should freak her out. Like, am I okay? Like, because I got killed and then revived by the war devil, is my brain like really fucked up for being okay with these things?
Oh, it's getting existential now. It's getting trippy.
Yeah. But that's all I have for chapter 179 of Chainsaw Man. What about you, Weep?
I'm honestly really excited to see where this can go. Things seem to be going in a direction where, honestly, it's been like this for the last couple chapters where anything can happen, and I'm legitimately excited to see how things can play out. I am curious to see how the whole Asa and Yoru dynamic plays out after, like if they manage to get out of this unscathed or without, maybe potentially losing a gun or tank. I'm highly anticipating that we'll actually get to see the tank gauntlet be used in this upcoming within the next few chapters.
Yeah, that's right. That totally has to be like a fucking moment shifting like situation where finally the left hand is used. I keep forgetting about that. Like we've only got.
I mean, we've only been using the gun, which leads me to leads me and I think a lot of people to believe that it's probably more of a defensive one.
Yeah, like she is a tank. Yeah, like she's big armored up.
Oh, Aging Devil's gonna shoot some crazy shit at her, and she's just gonna block it with that left hand, like similar to like how the Aging Devil just blocked this bullet, and it used the left hand to block the bullet in this chapter too. Hold on, bro.
No. Oh hell no!
I think I'm onto something. Oh, I think me and Weeb are onto something. Sorry, I'll share that with you. We'll split the W. We'll split the W. You get a V, I get a V. It's all good.
Yeah, in the comments, feel free to tell them both that they get an L. They can split it any way they want. What about you, Traffy? You got anything else for this chapter?
Nah, I don't got nothing else. We went over everything I could think of.
Okay, Knox.
No, I'm good. Yeah, no, this was a very thought-provoking chapter and discussion. I think it was great, but that's all I had.
Yeah, I think Chainsaw Man is always going to be big busters for us here on this channel. So look forward to more fun and crazy conversations about Chainsaw Man going forward. That's going to do it for chapter 179. All right, and so now we jump into Centuria, chapter 26, Mother and Son. Crazy chapter. Let's hear your thoughts on it, Traffy.
All right, so I do like the start of this chapter where it really goes over Arcos's backstory and how his mom essentially taught him to be cold. Like he's torturing this man and he's laughing and he's like, "Look, mother, isn't it funny?" And she's like, "You sure do like the suffocation game." And she's just hyping him up as he's torturing this man. And it really just defines like how he is as a person.
Yeah, no, for sure. And this might sound like weird or crazy, but I love how it's a mother, because like typically, like, I feel like we've seen flashbacks like similar to this for shitty characters where their parents suck too, but it's like always like the dad or something.
Yeah,
and
more disturbing if it's the mother.
Yeah, it is more disturbing when it's the mother, because it's like you never see that.
The dad's always like pushing for the son to be like this strong military power. Like, yeah, he's gonna take over when I die. And the mom's like, please don't turn my son into a monster. I don't want my son to go off into war. But
the mom is always like, stop doing this to our baby boy. And then the dad like backhands her like, shut up, bitch, get back in the kitchen or some shit.
Yeah, like he's as soon as he turns 13, he's going out into war with me.
Endeavor type beat.
Yeah, it's like it's really unsettling when it's the mom and she's just like, you can do whatever you want, baby. Nothing is beyond your grasp.
No dad in sight.
No dad in sight. Just this like very a nervous attendant lady with a katana on her back. She has some sense, but I guess she can't speak back against royalty or whatever is going on in this situation.
Guess so.
Yeah,
Just
it's
enabling him.
interesting to see this. Normally you get this, you always get this in a series when like a bad guy's dying or whatever. You go back and you see their little backstory. Normally it's for like demons, I feel like, though. But this guy, I mean, he's kind of a demon, a little shitter.
Nah, hell nah. This is niggas be fake demons meme right here. This whole chapter, bro. Like,
Bro,
just seeing him like die and suffer in such a satisfying way. It's that poetic justice.
And that's
Poetic justice.
that rapid succession of his like fear, uncertainty, and like, holy shit, what did I just get into? I'm supposed to be the strongest there is. What the fuck am I looking at right now?
yeah,
It's
you can.
just
How is the
so-
water that I control not under my jurisdiction? This isn't right.
Literally,
tell.
like, this is real catharsis right now.
You
Yeah.
can tell that throughout his entire life, no one has ever said no to him, and like everything is crashing down on him. Like the
Right.
waves crushing him. He loses his ability to like breathe and talk underwater, and even barely swim. Probably, I was surprised his head didn't just get separated because he was holding it together,
did.
like with
It
his
did.
Yeah,
powers.
it did
In
at
the
the
very
very
end.
His own
at
blood.
the very end.
Yeah, in the very end. But like as soon as he lost the power, I just like assumed his head was just gonna float off or whatever. But he managed to
Nah,
keep
for
it for a
real.
little while. But like it's just we finally got the what we've been waiting for. We kept saying we can't wait to see that fucking smug look get wiped off his face, and he
Yeah.
faces the fucking Cthulhu monster underwater with the million eyes and the big titties, and shit got
His
really
mother's face.
That's what
really,
you
really
get,
real.
you spoiled brat ass bitch. Exactly what you were saying. Has never been told no, has never been hungry before. Very like Tanner from the suburbs. My dad owns a dealership type nigga. Like, fuck this dude. Like, thigh, shorts, like, really short shorts
Yeah.
and like fucking loafers and like polo button up, like,
log socks. Yeah.
yeah, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking hate this guy. This is the motherfuckers that you sell 30 a G2 type nigga. Fuck this kid, bro. I'm so
Yeah.
happy right now. We've been talking about this for weeks too. Like, I can't wait till he dies. Like, the worst, most satisfying, gurgling underwater, bleeding from the ears type death. And I love this splash page on page 18 where Julian is like, "Are you still having fun, my
Yes.
nigga?"
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was so cool.
Grabbed him by the ankles, like, "Come here, bitch. You ain't going nowhere."
I
And
hope
then-
when,
Exuded aura.
I hope if this gets animated, like when he dies, then they do like the, when Sonic goes underwater, he drowns, and they play the. Not saying they need to play the music, but like when he finally
Oh my
dies, they go. Bloop, bloop. They do the bubble sounds, it's like. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
with the Mario death sound in the background.
Bro, I need something comedic here, because he's just
For
like
real.
his face, his fucking eyes, like the blood is just going crazy.
Look
He
at the
is-
veins in this nigga's cheeks,
I
bro.
was waiting for his head to explode from the pressure.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know, in
That
the
would have been
Titanic,
insane.
Titanic
Submarine.
billionaire submarine type beat. Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
Oh, fuck you, dog. In your own element too, with your goofy ass. God.
I'm just
This
gonna
is for Angball, bitch.
now.
Hold on.
I know. Let's dial away from the satisfaction of seeing Arcos just
Yeah,
turn into a pathetic bitch.
yeah.
But how do you think he got? I know we said this before, but how do you think he got his powers in the first place? Do you think he just got it because his father was like blessed and he just happened to get this power?
Yeah,
what
weren't
it
we
seems
talking
like.
about that
'Cause
last chapter too?
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about that last chapter. That's because like I think this chapter more or less kind of confirms that at least it wasn't the ocean ruler
Yeah.
that gave him the power to control water. So it's probably seeming like it was genetic.
Yeah,
Or
it says
some
'cause
sort of,
you are the
like-
child of God, you're the Supreme Lord's precious son. So it does seem like it's hereditary.
Yeah, maybe-
chapter feels like it's like hammering that in.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
maybe like each family is kind of blessed with a certain thing, and it's like a rare case where like a child can be born with, you know, some fragments of the power of like a certain deity or god, but they're just completely unaware or whatever.
Yeah, I
Because I
don't think
mean,
there's
she
any information that implies that it's like that, or at least that hard confirms that it's passed down genetically. Like it could be that for sure, but like you never know. Like the dad could just be like, "Here you go, son," and just decide to give it to, a
yeah.
child, or it could be like, "Oh, you're born with it." I don't think we have any like information that
Or
hard confirms it
It,
going in
it,
either
or
it
his
direction.
could
mother is smashing one of the lords.
yeah,
Hey,
okay. Or
hey,
it could be
bringing back
a
that tentacle hentai porn
it could be a
aspect of what we're doing right now. No, I'm kidding.
it could be a boys Gen V type of situation too, where like the kids, you know, at birth are like injected or some sort of like ritual is performed on them or whatever, and then they just the parents or whoever just pretends that they have no idea and just like, oh, you're blessed, you're the greatest thing ever, and just keeps telling them and hyping them up so that he can become like the next ruler or whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
But
it could be a bunch of Zeuses. Like we see the Lord of the Sea can change her form to be human. So you could have these lords out there pretending to be humans, smashing people, and then having offspring that are like half human, half lords.
I think I think
Shit.
I think in the very least this chapter at least confirms that this character, this like god thing, like she slash it whatever had nothing to do with Arcos gaining his power, because they're looking and they're like, you boy, how long do you plan on polluting me and my waters with your presence? Like disgusted with him. Like if it was something that they had bestowed upon him, they probably wouldn't have talked to him that way. It kind of sounds like you're putting on a pathetic show with a power that like imitates mine, and it's like if she had given it to him, then there might have been a different conversation had. But it seems like he obtained his power, but it had nothing to do with this character directly.
Yeah, I mean, there could be like we know there's a Lord of the Earth, we know there's a Lord of the Sea. There could be like a Lord of Water or a Lord of
Yeah.
Fire. It could have
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
been a completely separate entity.
Right.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to focus on the personality of the Lord of the Sea too, because just like the dynamic that's kind of shown here between Julian and the Lord of the Sea is very I just
Doting
like
mother?
how I just it honestly reminded me more of like Slan from the God Hand in Berserk.
Mhm.
But like just the way that they kind of interact was like really interesting to me, because it's like she pulls up and she's like, yo, I got you, how could I not hold my son down or whatever, and Julian immediately is just like, I'm no son of yours. And I think that that's really interesting, because it's like, what beef does Julian really have with this sea god? I mean, at the end of the day, like, she saved his life from like certain death and gave him power, and like that's like the only like real relationship that we've kind of known between them up until this point. But he's like wildly skeptical of her, and like for good reason, obviously. Like we as the readers, unless you remember like another moment where she like
It
talked shit
was
to him or something, or
so
or
it's not talking shit. It's more so that she forced the woman he saw as a mother to take her own life in
Yeah.
order to protect him.
Yeah,
oh,
like
right,
like
right, right.
she like
Yeah.
she the god killed like all the other guys, and like it was just like you couldn't let this one go, and she's like, nope, you gotta, one of you will be bestowed with great power, but the other one has to be dead. So
Yeah.
choose.
And maybe he's like salty in that regard, because he saw it as like a choice that she could make, and she gave him like a really difficult decision that like ended up like being really traumatic for him. So he's like salty about that. But like that could just be like how it works mechanically. Not that Julian would like think about like something like that as like, some kind of give or take, that happens in the mechanics of this like weird like Lovecraftian power system or whatever. Like not that he would think about something like that. So like maybe it does make sense for him to just be like, no, like you could have made us all live, but you chose to
Yeah.
have, okay, that makes a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
more
thinking
sense.
it's like, I didn't ask for this power. You could have just left us alone, but instead you forced one of us to die and then gave me this fucking demonic power, which, I'm grateful for the power, kind of just because, I've kind of died a couple times and it's kept me from perma dying, but
Right. But you killed my girl, dog.
yeah, you killed the woman that I saw as like a mother, and like I'm a freak, and also it kind of led to these traumatic things happening, like Engvall dying and this fucking weirdo coming here to kill me and my people and shit. Like life is not fucking peachy, even though I'm immortal. Like shit is not
Life
going
is
good.
not daijobu right now.
Yeah, shit is not gravy. And like you don't teach me how to do anything. You just like give me powers and say like off you go, fucko. Like I don't know how to do anything. I'm just a fucking guy with water powers now, and like I just can't die. Like am I just gonna have to like live and watch everyone I love just fucking die to different causes? Like he's got some beef, and this thing is just kind of like, hey son, it's like, bro, you are not. I don't fucking know you, bro. Yeah, it's crazy situation, but nice to see old buddy ass got his shit rocked and lost his powers and all that good stuff. Didn't make it to the surface for a fist fight.
Yeah.
But what you guys think they're gonna have Julian and the God of the Sea gonna have a long conversation next chapter?
Probably.
I don't know about
not
a
long.
long conversation.
Probably
I
a
can
short
see
one.
it being like a very like because this like Cthulhu sea god like Dagon bitch is like very reminds me of like pretty much like any like kind of like iteration of like the devil in like anything that we've kind of like seen. Like it reminds me of like how like the Futurama robot devil kind of like treats Fry in Futurama. You know what I mean? I feel like this is very reminiscent of just depictions of, ironic, facetious, like you're my plaything, but I'm gonna like help you in certain regards, but like at a certain cost, like nothing is ever for free, and like you're entertaining me, like kind of shit. So like I don't know how long the conversation could possibly be, because I feel like you don't want to give away too much, too soon in a series like this. Like we're only on like chapter like 26, and who knows how long the series is going to be. But
True.
yeah, like I can't see it being like too long of a conversation personally. Maybe some like speaking in riddles and like giggling and laughing, like see you next time, son, like type shit. But like who knows? We might get like a full on conversation too. Like nothing is
You-
off the table. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It does.
it's
You know what I'm
it's
getting?
it's giving robot devil. I'll see you next time, low key.
What I'm thinking of with the Sea God is which is a series I want to get into and actually finish or catch up. The Millennium Earl from D. Grayman,
Okay. No
like the deal
spoilers,
with the
but yeah.
devil. I mean, it's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
from chapter 1 that
Oh,
you'll learn to
okay.
make. Like the whole deal with the Millennium Earl, he shows up when someone's grieving for the loss of a loved one. He offers to bring them back to life, shows this skeletal frame he created, tells them to like, okay, say their name and I'll bring their soul back. But the cost is that, yeah, they're brought back, but but at the cost, it kind of forces the person brought back to kill the person that wished for them to come back, and then wear them as skin, and then be turned into like human killing monsters.
Okay, yeah, that's insane. I remember I watched D. Grayman, but I do not remember it. I watched it a long time ago. I plan to
Yeah.
peep it again, but
And
yeah.
his whole thing is that he just shows up to vulnerable people and like offers them like the ability to bring back their loved ones, just leaving out the fine print of, yeah, they're gonna kill you and wear your skin as their own and kill other people.
Yeah, it sounds like we probably definitely have a situation like that going on with this God of the Sea.
I mean, it
Yeah.
looks like she is trying to antagonize him because, like, she changes into the lady's form and he's like, "Don't you dare mess with me." And she responds with, "It seems I hit the mark." So she's
Yeah.
purposely trying to antagonize him. We just don't know why.
Yeah, I'm guessing, maybe we'll get a little bit more from them next chapter, and then like spears or something will probably fly into the water. Because remember the like the future sight lady was like, we got to get to the ocean. Something terrible is going to happen. So the people are probably about to pull up and see like Arcos's body float to the surface or something while Julian is down here talking to this water devil. And maybe they'll say like, keep doing good work, son, I'll see you another time. And Julian's like, fuck off. And then he goes back up and you're under arrest, fucko, because everybody showed up to the beach right after he's fought for his life underwater, 80 meters underwater. He swims to the surface and they're like, hands behind your fucking back. Like, bro, can't catch a break out here.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I think I am squeezed out for Centuria. What about you, Knox?
Squeezed out's not crazy.
Okay, I'm done with this podcast. Good night.
Ah. Now I want to talk about that for the next 10 minutes. What's wrong with you, Doc? No, I'm kidding. I'm good on Centuria, bro.
All right,
good.
what about all right? We Traffy.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, and that's going to do it for Centuria chapter 26. Everyone is all squeezed out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And now jumping into Dandadan chapter 168, there's something here. But before we jump into that, just to let you know, this episode is being recorded a day late, so we won't be talking about chapter 169, which if you're watching this, you have read 169, but none of us have read 169, so we won't be discussing the things from the new chapter. We haven't read it. I hope we all haven't read it, but I haven't read it at least. I don't know about these guys. I can't speak.
I haven't read it.
Okay.
Nope.
Hopefully they're all honest people and won't, pretend to not know. We ain't like that.
I lie a lot. I lie a lot,
Satan
but
hears.
I love to lie, but I'm not lying right now.
Okay.
Oh my god, if my lie was actually true, holy shit.
Bruh.
Imagine.
So chapter 168, Dandadan, last week's. Bear with us. You'll hear 169 next week, baby. Knox, tell us what you thought, man.
Oh, dude. Okay, so the very first thing that like happens in this chapter is we see that Momo can still use her like psionic abilities at like normal capacity, even though she's shrunk. And that was like one of the biggest questions on my mind when she shrunk. And I don't think I ever like brought it up or that we ever talked about it like on the show up until this point. But I felt like I was like, oh shit, they answered that like in this chapter, and that was just like really cool for me. But that was that.
Spider Momo.
Yeah, literally,
Around the
she on her Peter Parker type beat in this fucking chapter. Dude.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, I love it. It would have been funny, like, if somebody just like was in the library and saw this, and she didn't know because she's so small and could only see like a certain portion of the library, but she's swinging it, and somebody's like, yeah, it would have been kind of funny to see this, little Momo swinging as she like bumps into some guy while he's trying to grab a book or something. Or would have, she slaps into a book that somebody's pulling out of a shelf or something. They're like, "What was that?"
And I'm a really big fan on page 6. This really big panel dedicated to this shadowy figure like sliding this door open. It was very reminiscent of like Peltrola in the Bylong exam arc of Ranger Reject, like when his like first appearance or when he's like reintroduced like into the story after he booms that random junior ranger or whatever in that room with X's. And then he like peeks like around the corner like like that. I love panels like these. I feel like we get panels like these like all the time in like horror manga, for example.
Yeah.
But I was the first thing I thought of when I turned the page to page 6. I was like, oh shit, Peltrola type beat.
I feel like
Momo.
Slightly off topic, but I like how we get like horror-esque moments in like non-horror series, and those hit harder because you don't expect it to like be a thing. Like how all the times Horikoshi has drawn so many like incredibly detailed and like dark sketches in MHA where like you could easily see this in a horror manga.
Yeah, we've been saying like Kohei needs to do a horror manga for real, but also like in Donda. Yeah, no, I think he did too. I think I remember something like that in an interview or something
like he wanted to,
or maybe like a an author's comment at the
he can be the new
magazine or something like that.
He could be the new Gen Junji Ito.
I mean, I don't know if we go in that far, but anyway, but also like Dandadan, as an occult like yokai like series has always been kind of horror leaning anyway. Like it's very wacky. It's very like holy shit. This is like almost like a romp, like on the level of like Yellow Submarine at times or whatever. But like I have always felt horror vibes in Dandadan to begin with, but. Yeah, I just love that panel on page 6. Like anytime a manga does that, I'm just like, yeah.
I like the Kagurabachi crossover.
Wait, am I tripping?
Am I tripping?
No,
are we tripping, Yazo?
The black goldfish.
So. Oh
my god.
Yeah,
that goldfish. Yeah, that goldfish hella detailed too. Yeah.
Yo, I love that fish, bro. Let's talk about this fish drawing for a little bit here because it's so 3D. The textures are fucking insane. Like you can really see, and just like so for the longest time, I thought that Dandadan was like an entirely digitally drawn manga. So finding out that this is like 90% analog or something like that. I think I saw like a tweet or something that showed like Yuki Nobutatsu, like the drawing process or the creation process for Dandadan, and it was like all analog or whatever. And I was like, this motherfucker draws this with a pen and pencil, dog.
Different.
Like, are you
Wow.
fucking kidding me, dude? I definitely, and especially because it's from, you know, the digital only arm of
Jump
Jump,
Plus.
you know, but yeah, it's Jump Plus, so this is like a digital series, you know, so I just like assumed, I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker's crazy with the digital shit. Like his computer programs and Wacom tablet are probably next level. This motherfucker's drawing this on paper.
Yeah,
And
nah.
like this goldfish is fucking insane right now. And even like the rocks and
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say the fucking stones under it, like that's a lot
underwater,
of
yeah, like dude, and like the screen tone effects like behind the goldfish to imply
Yeah.
like that like visual effect you get when you look into a fish tank and like the waves of
the
water like
waviness, yeah.
reflecting on the glass and whatnot. Like all of this shit is fucking insane. And I made a tweet however long ago, like this isn't drawn by a human. You know what I mean? And I know he's got assistants, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's
They
the
were on
one
you.
thing
They
you
were
were
on
on me.
you.
You were on my heels saying, did you know that he's got assistants? And it's like, yes, I understand how the fucking manga creation process works, you dickheads.
Local man
Anyway,
discovers manga art.
but I'm just like blown away by like some of the shots that we get in this manga sometimes too. And then even the panel underneath that, this like skinny horizontal one where you know Momo's got her face and hands
that
on the
panel.
glass and whatnot. The screen tones are like more pronounced on that like wavy
Yeah.
effect and has like a layer of like darker grays attributed to it just to show like the difference in perspective from the panel above it and the panel below it. It's just like so many things are considered in the art, you know, from storyboard to final product in this manga.
Wow.
Like in every panel, like throughout, like compositionally, this is just a masterpiece.
And the
of
fact this
art,
is
in my
weekly
opinion.
too.
And
Yeah.
it's weekly,
Being
dog.
weekly is insane.
Hey, at least
It's
he
like, how
took a
do you-
month off, and
Listen,
at least
bro.
he took a month off.
Even
This
then.
motherfucker
Before we're
is
starting this arc.
this is a Fujimoto Tatsuki assistant, and I'm so excited for whenever a Yuki Nobutatsu assistant comes out with their
Yeah.
own, you know,
Yeah.
series.
And then
after
their
this,
editor
because
says, "Draw whatever the fuck you want."
I'm telling you, like this family tree is
Yeah.
about to be
We need
fucking
that.
insane. Like in
We
the
need
next like
that.
10 years or whatever. Like the Fujimoto Tatsuki mafia is about
Yeah.
to take over the manga industry
Because he,
in the next
I mean,
like
he
generation.
gives his
or two.
assistants them golden pins and tells them to go, you know, create gold, and they make shit. You know, we got
I'm
down and
telling
down.
you.
It's the newest, biggest phenomenon, man. The anime is popping. That shit is,
It's
you know,
it's already
Yes.
getting carried by animation allegations
Yeah.
already.
Oh, we made it. Oh, we're up
Yeah.
30. Hold on,
Yeah,
wait a minute. I
allegations.
didn't know they were saying that. This nigga Fujimoto Tatsuki is a golden goose in this
Yeah,
industry.
he laying them, man.
I'm telling
Mhm.
you.
I saw a lot of people already hating on the first episode, and I saw somebody said the plot was like bland and unoriginal or some shit. And I was like, what? Like how, bro? Some people are just trying to be different. But anyway, back into the chapter. I think Traffy, you said something about Momo, right?
No.
You were like we were talking about the fucking the door opening thing, and you were like you thought of Momo or something.
Oh yeah. So the funny part, her name's Momo, but you know the creepy ass like creepy pasta, the Momo thing?
Yeah,
that's what that panel reminds me of.
yeah.
Dude.
I thought of that shit immediately too, and then I was like, "Am I the
didn't.
only one?" Bro.
No, I wish
So-
I thought of that.
So I feel like with her looking that way, she's definitely like a reference to that Momo character, and the fact that she is looking for Momo, I feel like her name might also be Momo, or maybe it's something close like Mimi or something. But like,
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think too. But like my thought of seeing her looking around for Momo was like maybe she's been always like watching Momo. You know, as the kind of creepy kid in school, she's always had her eye on Momo because Momo, I say, is, you know, the popular girl and everybody likes her. So it's easy to, you know, keep an eye on her without anyone noticing you. So maybe she saw Momo, you know, at school shrunken, and like she's also like an occult believer, and she thinks, you know, maybe if I get some of her blood or her hair or something, I can make like a voodoo doll, or maybe I can like replace her and I can become the new Momo or whatever. Because she's got this knife and
What
she's
if she's-
searching.
Yeah, it's very like Palm Siberia type beat from like
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter low key. But now that like we're on the subject of like both of their names like potentially being Momo, it made me think of like Zack Snyder's like Batman versus Superman. Like as soon as Batman,
Martha!
yeah, as soon as Batman's
Oh
about
my
to
God.
stab Superman through the heart with the kryptonite stake, he's just like Martha. And bro's like, oh, Martha? Well, did we just become best friends? Yup, like type shit. And it's like maybe that's how the conflict resolves to a certain degree
Bruh.
because
Or
our main character Momo, you know, is very good with empathy and like emotional intelligence in situations where she sees like a yokai spirit that has like, you know, a very high pathos, like trauma driven like past, and like there's like this weird like situation that happens like in the power system mechanically where she can like see the history of like the people that she comes into conflict with and whatnot. So like maybe it's like a very like high stakes, intense, like I'm coming to kill you type vibe right now. But then eventually it might turn into like, oh, I saw your backstory, and you know, people used to fucking make fun of you for looking like that mean your whole life. So like I'm here to be your best friend now type. Be like, maybe we see this bitch at the fucking dinner table, you know, in a couple chapters or something like that. You never know. Anyway,
like maybe this is just the knife is a red herring, and she has been watching Momo, but she's trying to help her. Like she's the only one who knows how
Oh.
to fix the being small thing.
oh
Yeah.
shit,
What if
I'd
it's
like that a
possibility?
lot
Because
actually.
like at no
Yeah.
point in this chapter does she like threaten her. She's just looking for her. And
With a
she's
knife in
saying
her
it
hand.
is
Knife.
creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's got a knife in her hand. She looks crazy as fuck. She's like
It looks
clearly
like the
like
ring.
yeah, like looks like yeah, like the ring. The what's old girl's name from the
Sadako.
ring or
Sadako,
whatever?
I think, or something.
Is
That
that
I
Kai-
don't
it?
know.
it's
It's been a long
Sadako or
time since I've seen that
Kayoko.
movie,
I
so
don't
I don't
know.
remember.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think I really
She's
like the red herring idea though, Traffy. Like this could all
yeah.
be like a huge misunderstanding because this chick is just like socially awkward, like half yokai, half human
I
weirdo.
I would love that. Like if she
Hmm.
knew the secret to turning back was like to bleed a little, and it was like, Momo, I just brought this knife so you could prick your finger and it'll change you back. And it's like Momo just spends the next like 2 days running from this girl.
Shit, that reminds me, like, even though it's like not entirely related, just like the knife having something to do with things mechanically kind of reminds me of Philip Pullman's The Subtle Knife from like the Golden Compass trilogy of novels or whatever. Anyway, even
Yeah,
though
you and yo.
that knife like slices through dimensions or whatever, so it's not like entirely related, but it just made me think of that. And they're in like a library and whatnot too. So anyway, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Nerd.
Fuck you, Snooty. I read more than you. Anyway,
Damn.
This
Snooty
is
strays.
Dandadan, so what I feel like whatever we come up with, it's gonna be twisted in some incredibly out there, unhinged way that'll either be incredibly either bizarre or just incredibly hilarious.
Look,
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna,
something
it's
goofy.
gonna
I mean, it's
telling
Dandadan, so we're probably looking at a
Dandadan.
combination of both, gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
Unhinged
the
and out there
predictor.
is it's bread and butter.
What's
I am
up,
the
Traffy?
Oh, sorry.
predictor.
Sorry, what was
I
that?
am the theorizer of this group. My theories have
Yeah.
come correct the most.
Apologies, Master.
All right, let's go. Hit us
What?
with that. Hit us with that brain, then, Traffy.
I did.
won't- I
I
won't
did. I
agree
just
to
gave
that.
y'all my theory. She is.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that W if that comes true, but you ain't getting no other ones out of me.
Maybe we can split the W. No, I'm kidding.
Splitting it is crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes with this kid. And she's got this, you know, she's got the down, upside down, like grin or whatever you call it, frown. Oh,
She reminds
she's
me of-
obviously, you know, freaky on purpose by the author.
New
It's
party
probably
member.
a red herring.
Dude,
Yeah,
what if this is like okay, now this is tinfoil hat. We've all put on the tinfoil hat, I think, so far at some point in this podcast episode.
Yeah.
But like it's giving Kuchisake Onna vibes too. Like, what if this is like the human
Oh.
form of that yokai spirit?
she's here to
That's
like give her advice. Like, you've been taking
Yeah.
too long to kiss that boy, y'all.
Yeah.
What are you doing, yo? I came to your school to make sure your butt lips, bruh.
Yeah, this is just like, you know, what I do to like kind of like blend in like with society whenever I want to like interact with humans in like a non-creepy, I'm a yokai, be scared of me kind of way.
Wait,
Yeah.
we've seen her human form. Let me.
Oh,
let
did
me
we
go
see that?
back.
Okay, I'm tripping. Oh,
Let
yeah,
me-
yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
going
Yeah,
back
you're
real
tripping.
quick.
I
Go
want
ahead.
I want on
Go
that.
do some research on that, my
I
child.
want
What
on
if it's
board
her
for that.
avatar, someone she's possessing, like what
I
happened
can
with
see
like
that.
Okarun and Turbo Granny or Ira and the Acrobat Silky,
Yeah.
Umbrella
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
Could be that.
Or like
Oh,
if someone,
shit.
or like if she was sent here
That
for
ca-
someone, like like Turbo Granny, like sent this girl to find Momo type shit or something. Maybe not Turbo
Oh,
Granny, but
that
maybe like another entity.
So she
Saint
found
Germain.
her like she found her human to kind of coexist with on some like Ira and Acro Silky and some Gigi and Evil Eye like and Okaroon and Turbo Granny type beat is what you're saying, Weave?
Or just yeah, that's what we I think we're saying, right?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Like
Yeah.
this is somebody inside this girl's body is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can
I'm
see it.
fucking with it.
Yeah, either way, once we're done with this segment, we'll probably just read it and find out. So, all of our theorizing, you can let us know
Oh,
down
I
below.
forgot the chapter was out.
Yeah.
See, that's
So-
how you know I wasn't lying.
Yeah. It was
Watch
all
this
a
next
test.
chapter. Nothing to do to answer any of our questions. I'm
Bruh.
calling it now.
The
Wait,
next chapter-
Weeb, did you read the next chapter?
I didn't read it yet. No.
Hey.
I'm just calling out random bullshit just to see which one
Nah,
sticks.
hold on, dude. I hope
Next
we're right
chapter.
about something.
Next chapter is gonna be a food fight, and this girl's like gonna dunk on Okaroon, and everybody's gonna be like, "What the fuck? This swollest kid in school got dunked on by this creeper girl." Something just
Dude, I
off the
need that
wall.
actually now.
Yeah, but she was really in this bitch looking. She
that would
knew.
be some like what you just said, like just reminded me of like Scary Movie 2.
Yeah, like just something completely stupid, like the villain
Some
hops out
Wayne's
of a
brother
hot dog truck.
comedy.
Yeah. It's like, I'm here to kill you. Look, you're not here to give us hot dogs. No, I'm here to kill you. It's like, bro, what?
Okay.
Can we
yeah.
eat a hot dog first?
Yeah.
So
nah.
it
Got the
is.
truck, huh?
It is not the same chick.
Oh,
Oh, he
interesting.
went and
Okay. So, but
Thank you
wait a
for
minute.
researching.
So the Kuchisake Onna does have like a human like representative though, or a human avatar that she used at one point though in the series.
Are we talking about the same?
The slit with
slit
the
mouth.
slit mouth
Yeah,
woman
yeah,
with the
yeah.
mirror.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll send it real quick.
Yeah, put it in the little
Okay.
group chat and shit.
Okay, I'm just gonna take your word for it right now since we're
Yeah, for real.
in the heat of it. But okay,
Yeah.
so I guess we're just gonna have to wait until a few minutes from now to read the chapter, and then if if we hit in the head, you guys got a sub. If we were wrong, you got a sub. Just let us know down below which coin flip toss, heads or heads that you got.
Okay, I'm seeing the panel that you have sent into the group chat, and I must have completely forgot about this character design. But she low key bad though. What chapter is that from?
Oh shit! Like 120
Aw.
or
100
something.
something?
I already closed it.
Don't you got it up?
No, I closed it already.
This nigga. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, she was fire. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Okay,
That's
anyway.
grown. That's for me. But yeah, I guess I'm happy Momo didn't get caught by a freaky Momo girl, bird monster girl with a knife thing. But it's interesting that she knew, exactly. She knows who Momo is, and she knew where she was, and she clearly knows she's small because she's like looking, in between the bookshelves and stuff. So this girl
Yeah.
knows a bit. She's not just some random person like, "Oh, Momo, are you in here?" Somebody told me you were in the library. She knows what the fuck is going on. It has some sort of occultic knowledge, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for it.
Yeah, but other than that, for the chapter, did everyone watch the episode?
No.
I did.
I did it.
Oh, wait, Traffy, did you say you did?
I did.
Okay,
Yep.
so Traffy and Weeb, superior beings. Knox, sorry to hear it, bruh.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I just outed myself because I totally told one of the group chats that I like watched it at work with my feet up in the control room while my like little niggas handled the manual labor around the job.
Ooh,
And now they know I lied. See, I told you I'm a liar. I be lying and shit, but now they know. God
now
damn it.
they know you, the little nigga. Doing the work yourself. Don't got nobody to handle the grunt work because you the grunt. Damn. Looking crazy. But yeah, episode was fucking bangerific. I think the opening has like 3 million views on
Yeah,
YouTube
no,
now.
that-
That shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was
Fire.
for some reason a lot of the anime that were coming out like this season have been releasing their openings or new openings like before their episode comes out. And I think that's a pretty cool way to hype people up. Like Bleach released it the day before Dandadan's I think released it Like I think it was the day before also. And same with Four Nights the Apocalypse. And Bleach and Dandadan were trending for like 2 straight days on YouTube in the top 10. Bleach got the 7.
I want to say I feel like hyping up the openings has been hyped for a while, like been a thing for a while. And maybe I'm tripping because I don't really watch anime these days that much. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of anime openings before the anime season started, and there's always like the leak, you sometimes you get to hear a song like 2 weeks before the visuals or even the anime is out. And it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be cool. Can't wait to see what the visuals are like. But I think I listened to the Dandadan song like a week ago or so or whatever. But yeah, I'm hyped, man. The anime was really good, and people are going to be blown away. Everybody that's ready to watch episode 2 or whatever, it's going to be in for a crazy ride. Obviously, nobody who has only seen episode 1 should be listening to this podcast because what the hell are you doing? Because we're talking about chapter 168. But if there's some weirdo, because some people like to start with chapter 7 in a book when they pick up a book, or whatever, click Netflix and start season 4 of a new show without ever watching a beat. So maybe there's somebody in here that's like that. But yeah, this mod is fire.
You're looking at a guy that started One Piece from Water 7 and then went all the way back.
Oh
and
yeah,
watched
you
both
did say
simultaneously.
that, didn't you?
I think that's I'm not gonna go into that. So for me personally, I'm good on Dandadan 168. What about you, Weep?
I'm good. All I'm gonna say is for the volumes that precede, I want Tatsu to just make like little mini chapters, just mini Momo doing regular shit, going about her day and doing comedic stuff.
I would love that.
Yeah,
it'd be hilarious.
In like the volume extras, you mean?
Yeah, the volume extras and just no dialogue, just like let the images speak for themselves.
Yeah,
Tiny Momo.
That would be butterscotch
Tiny
for
Momo.
sure. Yeah,
Perfect title.
What about you, Knox? You got anything for the chapter?
I'm good. We had a great conversation. Good job, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Traff?
I'm good, but Ranma 1/2 remake anime enjoyers, sound off in the comments.
Yep.
No.
Okay. If you're one of them,
I watched the first episode.
There's nobody.
Nobody.
Why
All right.
do I
If
like
you're
this?
one of them guys, just let us know in the comments. There's a lot of things for you to let us know in the comments, so don't be shy, baby. We like them comments and we're gonna reply. So that does it for chapter 168 of Dandadan. All right, and so now we jump into Gachiakuta, chapter 112, unboxing. What do you think?
Well, we were completely wrong.
Yeah, weren't we?
About Rudo.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, about Rudo like knowing exactly like that Tamsi was
About Tamsi, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't that he had an idea that it was Tamsi. The reason why he was lying is because he's just not supposed to say anything that he's learned, but he has learned something, and he's just a bad liar.
Yeah.
That was a really good red herring.
That's a good misdirect. I love it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
was funny.
and it's definitely interesting seeing this situation where they're sitting and talking to was it Kuro, right? The information broker.
Yeah.
And they're like
Just
sitting here
black.
talking to him. Yeah. Something I wanted to point out is like the information broker a while ago, like when he was first introduced, I talked to Damo Senpai like on Twitter about it, and I think he might have said it first, or maybe like we both kind of said it like to each other, but there was a point where like I think we were kind of thinking that maybe Kuro was actually like a guy in a fat suit, and there was actually somebody else like inside, because like the way he was introduced, he was like super whimsy and flippy floppy, his arms and stuff, like his skin like looked loose, and like he looked like he didn't have his
seem to
gloves.
kind of bounce around. His like ragdoll physics, or just like the way that he like flies through shit, like implies that there's like a layer or like he is like a smaller guy and like a fat suit and there's a bunch of air in there or something like that. I could see that. What does that remind me of? Is there a character like that? Probably.
It's fucking, I don't know, just any cartoon or show where like two kids dress up in an adult costume to buy cigarettes or some shit. I don't know.
I'm thinking of something specific though. Like, wasn't there an episode of Cowboy Bebop where they're at like a carnival and there's like some like big like fat like carnival ringleader that Spike has to like fight or something like that? That's like really bouncy and like inflated like that. Anyway,
My Bebop now is just
me
horrible.
of like
Just say Roger from American Dad.
There you go.
It reminds
Easy
me
answer.
of those mascots that you see like videos of where they're like really bouncy and they dance like that. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
because he moves around, really, like when they first met him, he's like, catch me if you can, and he just jumps off the building and he's gone, and he's just so fat, bro. It looks like fake fat. It's like he's unnaturally fat. Like you see fat characters and it's like, yeah, that's a fat ass dude, but this guy is like so fat and like
he's a little too nimble for his size.
His body, like some parts of his body look like they're just like fake, like he's got rubber, a fat neck on or something, and like
we're gonna get a scene where he gets like garroted, or he's gonna get like stabbed like through like the body or something like that, and we're gonna be like, oh shit, he's dead, and then it's gonna like deflate and reveal like his true shit.
Bruh, yeah, his power is he's basically Fat Gum from My Hero,
or like shit. Sakamoto.
Yeah, Sakamoto. He's actually fucking swole as fuck. But yeah, getting this information, learning about the Watchmen series. What did he say? Rudo asked a question. For my second question, you'll tell me where Amo is, and fucking Engine's like, are you serious, kid? Rudo's got this like stupid face on. He's like, yeah, bro, tell me that shit. It's like, dude, you managed to drag another piece of intel out of him, but you go with that? Like, where the fuck is? Yeah, I thought we were gonna ask about the choker. So
he's like, nah, I had to secure the bag, gang. It's big Amo, baby. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not playing with that.
Yeah, he's really about that shit, and it's like, I mean, Rudo's straightforward.
Yeah, and I like how they at the beginning of the chapter basically compliment him for being like cool-headed and like he's thinking this through, and then as soon as Kuro says, well, I don't have that information, he just lashes out.
I don't know.
It shows the empty hallway and then him busting through the door with Kuro, and he's just
like a rabid animal.
Like that was the perfect setup for that scene.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's gonna go crazy in anime. Just fucking 1 second, the hallway's empty and quiet, and the next just explosion, the door flies open, and Fat Boy bounces off the wall. Rudo like fucking flying at him, ready to punch him and shit.
I can totally see there being like an OST throughout this conversation, and then as soon as he says that, the OST just stops, shows the hallway, and then boom, explosion through with Rudo like screaming at him.
Yeah. Man, I'm curious to see what we're going to see with the creator of the chokers, because the whole idea is that he can listen to basically any conversation whatsoever, and so he'll always be prepared if he like knows that you're coming for him.
Yeah, this scene very much like with Engine, like holding up the paper to him, like, hey, be careful, my nigga, they can hear us or whatever. It was very reminiscent of like Makima is listening with like
Kishibe.
Oh yeah. Where Chainsaw Man discussion. Where is Kishibe?
We talked about, brother. We brought that up last conversation. We brought that up so many times,
but I'm gonna bring it up every time. I should have brought it up last discussion. But it does give up Kishibe Makima's listening vibes.
Mm-hmm. That's the
very
first
smart.
thing I thought of.
My question for it is like, why can't they just take the collars off and then talk, or the chokers off and then talk about it? Like, what is the listening range on these things?
There has to be some other.
I don't think it's through the chokers. He didn't say through the chokers. He just said they know they could listen.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just from the chokers.
Yeah, I guess that would have to be it, because otherwise there would have to be some other reason why they have to keep the chokers on, despite the fact that niggas can hear them through them. And that writing would either have to be introduced later, or maybe it's an oversight or something like that. So I think Weed is correct there, because otherwise, why wouldn't that be like? Why wouldn't that be a point of logic where they're just like, okay, if these niggas can hear us through the chokers, let's take these off, leave these in another room, and go talk about this over here, because then writing would have to be introduced for why they have to keep the chokers on despite that, and I think that's just too awkward. So I think I'm with you on that.
So is it just like a Batman mega computer situation where he just like is sitting in front of like 1,000 screens, and he can hear like through, everyone's got a light, a fucking lamp in their house. Can he just hear through everyone's like electrical?
You talking about the Nolan films? You talking about the Nolan Batman films?
Yeah, when he's like sitting and like listening to everyone's phones or whatever. Trying to find
that is realistic Batman.
So
yeah, we could talk about that too. I don't. Anyway, go ahead, Travis.
I would assume.
Hey, dude, it's Batman podcast in 3 years.
Oh, brother.
I would assume his power allows him to listen to everything. But the chokers themselves are an extension of his power that allow people to communicate with each other. So it's separate from his own ability, which would give
So it's not
more
Tamsi?
credit.
No.
No.
Oh, I'm tweaking. What the fuck?
Or yeah, no, I don't think so. No. Like
No,
okay.
No. So there's
Because I'm thinking this motherfucker just left like string fibers on everybody when he like wrapped them all up or whatever, and it's just like baked into their fucking outfits or some shit. And he can
so
listen
maybe
through the yarn fibers or whatever.
now
I
that
still don't know
could
much about it.
that could be a thing, and now I'm kind of I just got mind fucked because I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought 30 seconds ago, but now I see that vision. Like if it is Tamsi, like if Tamsi were the one who created the choker, I don't know how or whatever. But like, I mean, Tamsi is clearly the angel or whatever, and they're like, this crow will lead you to someone who knows how to find the choker maker.
Well, I'm not saying that, just for the record, I'm not saying that Tamsi is the choker maker, but I'm saying that, like, since we had a conversation about, you know, it not being the chokers that this person can listen through, my mind immediately went to that scene where we have art dedicated to Tamsi literally wrapping everybody up with his string, and that was like a point of comedy or whatever at the time. But like maybe like that is when he put his little weird string, you know, strands into like people's clothes, and they all wear the same outfit all the time. So maybe that's how he can hear people. It's kind of like where my mind.
He's kind of like woven a walkie-talkie into everybody, like gave
shit.
everybody like an air tag or whatever into their clothes.
Shit. Yeah.
This is making me think back to the, I think 2 chapters ago when they picked up Tamsi and he was dangling his choker out the window. I don't know how it relates, but there's something in my brain trying to link the two.
I mean, the choker he took was Amos, though.
Yeah.
Trying to sneak it back.
Yeah, I don't think Tamsi's related because I can't remember. Like I have to go back and look. I keep saying I'm gonna go back and read, but like the chokers, they are used for communication. So like it wouldn't be, I guess, taking it from Amma, because I was like, why would, you know, if he wants to listen to everything and it's related to the chokers, why would he take it from Amma? But it's to prevent everybody else from finding Amma. And not to like remove, you know, I was thinking like, why would he take the thing that he used to spy on her away from her? But that's not the case. I don't know. There's so much going on with this, man, with the chokers, and then like how this person could possibly be listening. It's probably gonna be something completely unrelated, some completely different dude, sitting in a fucking wheelchair, looking at TV screens, like I said, and just listening to everything.
Well,
yeah,
on
I can
that
see that.
note, Tamsi has no idea what they talked about with Kuro, though. So I feel like that kind of destroys the
yeah.
All
right, so this is gonna be the segment where people listen to us and go, "What are they talking about?"
No, you got to make it this far. Hey, before you click off the video and go into the fucking comment section, you better have made it this far. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna have to delete your comment when you do reach this point.
It's a circle of ideas. We're getting somewhere. We just have to discuss it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this before, so we're working it out. We're doing our work in real time, and you gotta live with it.
We're trying to get to the bottom of something here, and you don't want to look crazy, do you? No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, I was happy, you know, with the whole Kuro situation though, because I was like, wow, he really played him. It was like, you know, you don't get no information. Your question, you know, your wish is lost, buddy. Sorry, there's no gold at the end of this rainbow. But he really was, you know, sneaking him a note to tell him like where to go or whatever. So I thought he was cool for that.
You know, part of me kind of wants Kuro to kind of, even by like staying at the base, be kind of a part of this arc to an extent, because if the guy that created the chokers, and it stated that he's probably been around for this, whoever this person has been around for a while, maybe they've picked up on something that, like, pieces of information that even Kuro doesn't know, and so I feel like he would, if he'd had the chance to, want to get more information, because that's his whole thing, information.
I think his part of the story currently is over.
It's done. Yeah.
I mean, I expect him to come back, but I think he's always watching. I don't know how, but
he's watching.
Kuro,
right?
Yeah. Once they find the choker maker, he's going to have that information. How is he going to get that information? I have no idea, because I feel like, he's not just going to walk up to him and be like, "Oh, well, who was the choker maker?" Unless he trades them information for it, which could be possible.
I could definitely see it being a case where like they find the choker maker eventually, and like he gives them another puzzle piece, and then they go to Kuro, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, bet you want to know where that goes to," and then he sends them on another goose chase with a price they got to pay or whatever. It's just like an endless cycle until something happens to him and he's really in danger. We also still haven't seen like if he has a divine tool, right? Like a artifact or whatever. I don't remember.
Divine tool.
Kuro? Yeah. Divine. Oh yeah, Dragon Keepers. Yeah, we don't know if Kuro has anything. So yeah, I guess I'm happy that we're getting a new location to go to, and there's like an arc that's about to start up, I guess, with this whole doll festival. In 2 weeks, South Ward will be holding its doll festival, so we know that we're gonna go to this South Ward, and there's gonna be this doll festival thing. Obviously, they say it. I really hope we get to see something from this festival, because I was really kind of salty the last time, 2 times actually, when we went to the graffiti town, and I was really expecting like kind of like a full blown arc in this town, because the landscape, like everything about that location was beautiful and just really cool and detailed, with the graffiti, all over the fucking place. And so I was sad that we only spent, like 3 or 4 chapters there max. Hopefully with this doll festival, we get, something that's more in line with like some of the major arcs or whatever we get. We spend maybe 10 chapters there and not just go find the guy and bounce,
I think it's going to be cool, because I feel like the entire arc will have like this eerie vibe, because of course Tamsy's going to want to tag along. Like,
of course,
he's suspicious right now, so he's going to want to stay with them to find out what's going on. So we're going to be constantly thinking, oh, when's he going to stab them in the back?
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the next arc goes with now with everyone having the knowledge, well, the readers having the knowledge, because now, looking at the last page in the chapter, we can see that Rudo was being, kind of weird in the last chapter or two, because he was lying about he was being weird because he didn't want to tell Tamsy about the shit with the information broker, not because he knew, the jig is up. So it's going to be interesting for us to see this, Tamsy being sneaky and sly and watching everybody, but they have no clue that he's the guy that they're probably looking for, and he did this to Amo. It's gonna be fun watching. You don't have to be me to know you're lying, Rudo, but like, does he know? I want to know what Tamsy's thinking now. Like, obviously Tamsy knows that Rudo is lying, but it's like, does Tamsy think that he's lying because he's on to him, and like this kid just sucks at lying, he's trying to get out of it, or like is it like, okay, there's something else, the information broker, that he doesn't want me to know? I'm interested, and I want to see what's going to happen with these dolls. Is there going to be a character who has some sort of power, to make the dolls move? Is it going to be like a fucking wax mummy museum type of deal? I'm just excited to see where we go with this.
Wait a minute, hold on. They definitely have to confront Tamsy, like in this arc at some point, because Rio is out of commission, and she's like his hard counter, isn't she?
Oh wait,
yeah,
Rio, yeah, I guess.
That's anything.
Yeah, like what other reason? What other reason to take her out of the story unless everyone's gonna have to fight Tamsy and don't have a proper way to deal with his technique?
Or at the end of the day, Rio pulls up in a wheelchair and says, "I have the answer for everything. Let me introduce to you the gun."
Scissors. Oh no. But no, like I can definitely see her coming, like, at the highest point of stakes, when like the chips are down and like everyone's like about to lose or something like that, and Rio pulls up with the her scissors or whatever and just starts snipping this nigga. But like, I'm just thinking, like, why is she out of the arc and Tamsy is like being propped up as like the next nigga we gotta beat up? It has to be because they're about to confront this nigga at some point in like the very near future.
It would be really cool if, like, climax of the arc, Tamsy reveals his true colors. Everybody, the chips are down, like you said, and Rio pulls up because she's the only one that can like effectively counter him and fight him. And let's say Rudo already used up all of his strength, with what he had. So it would all fall down to Rio to take out Tamsi, or at least like keep him from killing everybody.
Yeah, there would have to be like one.
I would love to see that.
There would have to be one more subversion like baked into that though, because now that I'm talking about it, like that almost feels like a little too obvious and too easy.
I think it'd be like
one thing.
I mean, I don't think as obvious. I think I haven't really. I've taken a peek at the subreddit. I don't think anyone's brought that up before yet.
I just see it as like it's like if I can just like come up with it on the spot like that, like surely the mangaka has like thought of what the audience will like think when they go through the manga. And they're really good at like creating crazy narrative zigzags like that, where like everyone looks one way and thinks a certain thing, and then like another starkly different thing ends up happening and ends up being better than what everybody like originally guessed, because these mangaka just like live in these worlds and think about these things to that degree. So it just felt really easy for me to come to that conclusion. So I know Kei Urana has considered it as well.
Before, yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say I want to hear what you was trying to say.
All right. One thing I do think that could be interesting is we're going to a doll festival, and if Tamsi joins along, he is a person who uses strings, which means he could have puppets and he could harass them without them actually know he's harassing them by using the dolls.
Damn.
There we go.
Theory.
The Tamsi arc. The Tamsi arc, bro. He can let it go crazy and just drop the dolls where they stand when shit starts getting hairy, and just be somewhere completely fucked off in a whole different direction.
He could even act like he's helping them fight them.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot with this character and the possibilities, and now that they're going to this doll thing. I was gonna say with the Rio Kugisaki showing up at the end to save the day. I guess the other subversion could be like she could save the day and be like, I'm here to, Tamsi's the bad guy, I'm gonna cut him, and then his strings are actually like metal, and it's like, you can't cut this shit, kid.
Oh shit, dude.
He's like, these are actually fucking thick piano wires or something. I don't know.
Oh no, bro. But see, like, this is why I love characters like Tamsi, because, he's like Hisoka, he's like Mahito. He's like the kind of character where his ability is so versatile that it doesn't matter if you know, like, what it is or how to counter it, because it's just applicable in that many situations. Like, he's literally like, I don't know how to, like, really, like, word this entirely, but, like, I just love characters that feel like no matter what happens, they've got like a backdoor strategy or like a way to counter whatever you think like counters them. So like I like what you said about the piano wire or whatever. I don't know if it'll be that literal, but like I can just see like even if Rio does pull up and be like, like I have the hard counter, like Keiran is gonna be like, yeah, but you don't though. You know what I mean? In some kind of way, because it's like bungee gum, it's like idle transfiguration. It's just like it's just that tight of an ability for like an antagonist to have, that it creates just like so much drama and so much, stakes.
I wonder if he can do like ventriloquism, like if he say he pretended like he got knocked out or something, and he fought somebody and was like, I'll handle this guy, you guys go on, and he fights somebody, and like you don't see Tamsi for a while, but some mysterious masked guy shows up to help. Can he like talk through this being and like disguise his voice and pretend to be someone that's helping them, and then backstab them as this like thread clone, and then you're like, we're looking for this guy, we're chasing this fucking dude with the funky mask, and the whole time it's Tamsi who was pretending to be dealing with some other guy, or we haven't seen Tamsi in 12 chapters. Where's he? Tamsi,
man, what if this ain't even the real Tamsi we looking at right now, bro?
What if he could string clone, like he could just straight like poof and just like, yep, you stab him in the chest and he just like Orochimaru turns into a pile of snakes.
Dog, that might be why he can cross the border so easily, because it's not actually him as like a human entity, it's just like a string version of him that's reaching that high up that like the Guardian doesn't even register it as something to be swatted down.
Yeah, I can't.
You know what I mean?
That is very possible. I do see that.
Can't wait till we find out all the answers to Tamsi's deal, what his whole story is, and why
the real
he is the way
Tamsi's
he is.
Just like a fucking like
a gnome.
Yeah, like a Tiny Tim, like weak, sickly little fuck who just has really long range with his ability.
Mechamaru.
type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
Guys, we're
That'd be
so
crazy.
smart.
Oh, and then we're just
Too
gonna be
smart.
wrong, and then I'm gonna go clip you. I'm gonna go clip you saying that and fucking flame you on Twitter. I thought we were so smart, Traffy.
Hell no.
Why are you flaming
But-
yourself too, though?
Yeah, you in there. You in there.
Oh no, it's only Laffy.
Yeah, Laffy. Gachikuta's got us kind of dangling by some threads right now. I don't really know
No
what
pun
to.
intended.
Yeah. I ain't really got no answers personally, but hopefully next chapter is gonna give me some more to try and connect these pieces with. So I don't have anything. What about you, Knox?
I'm good.
What about you, Traffy?
I'm good.
And what about you, Weeb?
I think I'm good.
All right, that is going to do it for Gachiakuta chapter 112, and we will move on into the next one. So now we jump into Ranger Reject chapter 155, Clients. I guess I'll start the talk off this time. I want to start with this very first panel. Clearly has to be like some sort of photograph that was taken, I think, and then maybe drawn over or whatever. Very realistic building. Not gonna touch on it too much, but I enjoyed the chapter a lot. We got a lot of crazy information, not necessarily reveals. I think there might be a couple of reveals in here. At least things are revealed to characters like Hisui, but I am still feeling the whole theory that I was talking about like two or 3 weeks ago with Wendy possibly Wendy, well, not just Wendy, but just the possibility that the executive that killed Hisui's family was either is Wendy, because Wendy sees Hisui and is like, I'm no good with her. And he also kind of looks at her when she walks away and, has the, dot or whatever. And there's just a couple times where it just feels like there's more to it. And she also mentions her family in this chapter. Like, what did my family die for? Like, is everything because of you, Yellow and shit. So,
Yeah, that's
definitely
huge.
definitely a lot to pick apart and look at here, and these next few chapters gotta be crazy. We also got a volume cover. I don't know, did you guys see the new volume cover with
Yes,
Shippo on
it's
it?
so
Yeah, it looks great.
good.
Yeah.
And you know what, Yato? You said you didn't want to spend too much time on it, but now that you brought up like the possibility that this is a photograph used for this manga panel, I just want to touch on the Manben episode, Naoki Urasawa no Manben or whatever, the docu series where he like talks with mangaka about their work or whatever. There was an Inio Asano episode where they were like low-key glazing this nigga about his illustration techniques and photograph techniques and how he's kind of you know, I don't know what like words they use like exactly, but it was like something along the lines of like ushering in a new age. Like he's like inspired a lot of like newer mangaka since introducing like certain techniques with photographs like into his art or whatever. Because he would take a picture, of a landscape in real life, and then he would put it into his software and then like turn up the saturation and mute the colors and like try to, using like Photoshop or something like Photoshop, bring it as close to a black and white like manga panel as possible. Then he would print that out and then go over it with like blacks and other analog techniques and then scan it back in and then add like screen tones and like other kinds of like digital effects to it or whatever, until he eventually got this like very photorealistic final product or whatever. And they were talking about it when they were discussing his footage, about how like a lot of other mangaka have kind of like adopted that and other techniques that he's like brought into his artwork, because he's just like a fucking genius like that. And now I'm like wondering if this is like something like that, because I know that Boichi uses like similar techniques as well. I don't know like which who came first or whatever as far as like manipulating photographs to look like manga artwork or whatever, but it's just like really interesting to like think about, because it's like I don't know how old Negi Haruba is, or like how new he is to like manga creation, like compared to someone like Inio Asano. But like this does look a little bit too photorealistic. I didn't think like photograph at first, but like holy shit, like if this is not a photograph, Negi Haruba, dog, and
Yeah.
assistants, and assistants.
And assistants, 'cause
Okay.
they gonna get you.
God damn it, bro! But
Yeah.
like, holy shit, is this a beautiful fucking panel? Either way,
Yeah, and I remember I think I watched that Monben episode with you in Discord at some point. Like that was like a year or two ago. But that yeah, it's definitely something that you kind of see not that often, but every now and then you'll get like a very realistic like building, and something like this happened in Fire Force too, where Okubo drew like a bunch of like very realistic buildings and even had like real people in the series. I don't know if he
yeah, I
like
saw
redrew
that.
them. Yeah.
That was so like scary, kind of like that woman or whatever from that one chapter. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is like a fucking.
I think using it for an establishing shot is okay, and like in this specific example, Negi's, like the buildings look like they're partially photorealistic, but then you go down to the street level and you have like the trees and the I guess bus, and those look like they're hand drawn in, so it looks like he's kind of mixed them.
That's what Inio Sano was talking about in the documentary too. He was like, if I got you like asking like what is drawn and what's not, then like mission accomplished. I tricked you or something like that. It's just like, damn, bro.
Yeah, but like having people, I feel like that kind of distorts that, because you can tell that a person is real, but then edited to look like a manga panel.
Yeah. And I think it really this type of shot really does well to start like a new arc. Like after the last arc ended, and like there was this big conflict and anticlimax, which was the climax of the arc. But to open the chapter with this, it feels very the city of Townsville. Like we open up and it's like all that stuff happened yesterday, and Hisui's walking through the streets and people are like, yeah, that soccer game was fucking fire, bro. It's like business as usual. Nobody gives a fuck about the Ranger thing that happened 2 days ago. The invader, the city, life moves on. All that shit that happens, people are still talking about whatever fuck happened to Walking Dead. This guy's talking about a soccer game. These people are going to work and riding their bikes to get pizza and shit. Nobody gives a fuck. And Hisui's just like, she's carrying this shit with her. She's walking through the streets and she has to listen to foolish people talk about silly bullshit that doesn't actually matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to go back to what you said about the whole Wendy theory, because just looking into this chapter, I feel like I came up with like an idea for what happened. So we do get a bit of backstory for the Ranger Force in this chapter, and specifically Shinya saying in the first year of the war, when the Flying Fortress was attacked, all of the executives were supposed to be defeated then and there. However, only one executive was there, along with a bunch of foot soldiers who didn't know anything. So with that being stated, you have to ask, who was the one executive, and why were they the only ones there with the foot soldiers? Now, the only one we know that D has referred to as being close to was Imamatai. And so if most likely the one executive that was there was Imamatai. What happened to Imamatai? The assumption is that Wendy is like a human form of Imamatai, and so that concerned look could be, this is someone that Wendy knows is close to D, one of Imamatai's technical children. So this could be like a concerned look because Wendy knows what Shinya has planned for Hisui.
I can see that, like a concern, like my son's friend is about to get turned into a fucking lizard and it kind of sucks. I know what, she's walking in that door. I know what she's about to find out and she's not going to like the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Another... oh, go ahead, Weep.
I was just going to ask, out of everything that Yellow's saying in this, how much of it do you think is like completely true, or is that just like giving you like half truths, like not giving you the full piece of information right now, or at least being intentionally misleading?
Oh, that's so possible.
He's definitely playing, because like the line where he starts talking about Chidori, and he's like, how much does Chidori know? and he's like, he's not our first generation, but he's been working hard all the same. He's done splendidly. Like, he's not denying or confirming anything, and it seems like he's alluding that Chidori does know, to make Hisui kind of turn against Chidori a bit here.
Type shit, yeah. And it's just like so good that Hisui does ask about Chidori in the situation. It's like this is such a big chapter for Hisui's character in this confrontation with Shinya, and like nothing was left out in this like inquisition or in this line of questioning that she has. Like everything is like so on brand and so on character for her. She's saying everything to this guy that you think that she should say, given this opportunity to actually speak with him candidly out off camera, away from everyone, to get the answers that she wants. And it's just like Hisui's my favorite character in this whole shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like going into a scene like this where she's finally able to, now knowing all of the information that she has, just knowing that nothing was left out in her line of questioning, just like feels so good, like character wise and like narratively, for a chapter like this. Like, because like if she didn't ask about Chidori, like I might have like eventually thought like, dude, how come she didn't fucking bring that up, dude? Like,
Yeah.
but like Negiharu was just like so on point and understands these characters so well and understands the story so well, obviously because he's the author. But like sometimes authors be like, writing characters like out of character and forgetting like certain things and like not considering like what characters would say in certain moments. And like he's just such a fucking good writer through and through. Like every area of storytelling is just like firing on all cylinders in this manga, like throughout. And that's why I get so mad when people try to say that this shit is mid or like this shit is like bad or like whatever.
People's just not locked in.
Yeah, they're just not locked in for real. Like this motherfucker does not miss a beat, bro.
No,
Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead. You were already talking.
There has not been a chapter where my mind just wasn't blown, because there's always something to reveal, and it never feels like far-fetched. It's not like the biggest M. Night Shyamalan twist ever. It's just a twist that fits within the narrative that you didn't expect.
And he just, there's a lot of things I just feel like he does that it would be easy for any other mangaka to forget or hand wave or just say, oh, this happened off screen. Like I always just think back to the scene where Suzukiri is like returning Suzukiri and Tokita are having a conversation about the cartridge, and he's like, should I assume that you're our enemy because you had this thing, and like the foot soldier stole the red tool, so there's no way you should even have this cartridge that you gave me unless you have something to do with that guy. And it's like that conversation could have not happened and no one would have thought about it until like 40 chapters later, and was like, wait, why didn't Tokita ask like how she got this? Right. It's like that's stuff like that, and like Hisui not like missing a beat with the questions, asking everything she needs to do. Like he is very good at making sure there's no stones unturned.
Yes.
As far as like the green thing where he said, I'm trying to find it now, where he's like, oh yeah, he's not a first generation, but he's been working hard all the same. So like I took that as like Chidori maybe didn't know at first, and maybe like Chidori wasn't in the original first circle or whatever, because it was Sane's like husband who ended up killing himself, and then Chidori took his place. So like my thought was like, Chidori knows, but Chidori didn't know at first, and he's just been, working like a dog. Basically, like Yellow has been putting him to work, and it's like, yeah, he's been doing good. He's been doing the thing, we assigned him to do. But like Chidori does know, after some time he found out, but I don't think it was probably something that like Yellow told him, and he just kind of let him find out, knowing he would eventually find out. But at that point, it's like, what are you gonna do, bro? You're already wearing the suit. You already drank the coffee. You drank the Kool-Aid. You're doing what we say. You might as well just keep up the facade. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, and like, so I have three things, thought process that went through for this chapter. The first is, this is definitely something planned. Hisui walked into Yellow Battalion. She went to talk to Shinya alone, and she had all of these questions ready to fire off, with the chapter ending with Sosei showing up. And then the last arc ended with Sakurama inviting D back to the Neo Ranger hideout. This isn't a coincidence that Sosei showed up now. This is something
Oh,
that
yeah.
they planned. So
yeah, you're thinking,
what is the
you're thinking
purpose?
like, you're thinking like Hisui and Sosei and gang are all like moving at the same time. Like Hisui decided to go like, and it was like Sosei's going to attack the base, you know, in 7 minutes. So you got 5 minutes to go get some information type shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolute
yeah.
unit.
Okay, I like that, and I did not think of it honestly. Like I kind of go into things just like, you know, fucking bright eyed, bushy tailed, and I was just like, wow, what's this manga gonna do for me today? And like when it just got to the end, I was like, bro, like I was like the way shit's lining up, like Hisui shows up, shit gets hairy, and then Sosei is here, motherfucker. Shit
Yeah,
is
that's
going the
so
fuck
hype.
down, bro.
So have we talked about like the idea that Shinya's just like old as fuck, like hundreds of years old or some
So-
shit? Maybe not hundreds.
Watch
but
him be
like,
a clone also.
That
like
was
yeah.
that was another point I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Because this chapter specifically refers to him as an old man over
Yeah, like
and over again.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, like
But they walk into what we can assume is his room, and this is a child's room. And when he's talking about his power, he's referencing like a children's game. So
Yeah,
there is something going on with him where he's old, but he's childish.
yeah, and it makes
So-
me wonder, like, okay, because like we know that this whole thing started like 14 years ago or whatever.
yeah.
But then the divine dragon conversation and the priestesses don't necessarily have to have started at that point. Like that could you know, very easily, and probably does predate, you know, the creation of executives and this war, you know, with Rangers versus aliens or invaders or whatever, you know, that started 14 years ago. But the divine dragon goes back hundreds or thousands of years, and the priestesses too. I think that makes more sense, which would give, you know, more credence to Shinya just being old as fuck. You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting here going like these timelines, like 14 years, but they keep talking about how old he is. And he's like, I used to work with this dude's older brother, like back in the day. Like, how long ago was that? You know what I
think
mean? If this whole thing
he's-
is only 14 years old or whatever. Yeah.
I think he's definitely got some kind of ties to some sort of mystical fucking fountain of youth or something. Because even in Sosei's like torn apart flashbacks, like when they go back and show like when Sosei first got the job as, you know, the Red Keeper on the real TV show, they even showed Shinya with his helmet off, and he was, you know, they were all watching the show, you know, in their
Yeah.
sleeping bags, eating hot pockets and shit. Shinya looked the exact fucking same. Like he doesn't look like
Yeah.
he's aged a bit. When everyone took their helmets off on the show where Wallypon fooled Red into ripping off Yakushi's hand or whatever, like Yellow took his helmet off and he looked the exact fucking same. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like part of this, like, not only is it like a power trip thing, but he's also like he's using all this research and stuff to keep himself young, and that's part of like the cloning process. Like maybe through researching on all these Soseis and Sosei 1, 2, and 3 and 4, you know, he's discovering ways of like keeping himself immortal, because he's like this super, you know, fucking Kenjaku guy where he's just like, I want to live for, or Orochimaru, you know, Orochimaru wanted to achieve immortality so that he can learn all of the jutsus in the world, and he kept coming up with ways to like body swap so that he could eventually like get a permanent body or whatever and end. But like,
Ooh.
you know, maybe not necessarily saying that Shinya's body swapping, but maybe like all of the cloning and all of the like experimenting he's doing on all these other monsters and changing people into executives and stuff is leading to not only, you know, it kind of like funnels itself, like, you know, by doing this research, it makes the Ranger, you know, tools more effective, and it keeps creating bad guys, which keeps putting money, you know, into the pockets of the Rangers, because they keep having bad guys to face and defeat, and the sponsors and everything they keep paying for. But that money is also being used for his own personal gain, where he's like, I want to achieve immortality and you know, stay young forever so that I can achieve some other, you know, unknown goal.
Sure. But then also, like, there's a lot of like pocket dimension stuff that we've seen in this series, like so far, with like Magatia and shit like that. So maybe there's like a hyperbolic time chamber type situation happening as well with this technology, where he can just like hop into a pocket dimension, and you know, where time is like, you know, dilated to a certain degree to where he just like spends like so much time in a room, you know what I mean, and then comes out like 1 minute later, but it's really been like 100 years in the room or something like that.
maybe that has something to do with his suit and why he never gets out of it. So it's not a
Mm.
room, it's his suit
Yeah.
keeping him young.
Hey.
Oh, because
Darth
wait,
Vader.
Wait.
wait. So the remote has the ability to control time,
Oh.
like pause,
Yep.
and so, but he doesn't. Maybe I don't think he has the remote because it's like Suzukiri's tool that she keeps, but that is one of the abilities of the yellow tool. Like the yellow
Oh.
bow has the I forget what it is, what the Japanese name, but he gives the cartridge to Suzukiri and she can then pause, play, fast forward, rewind. Maybe he has had the ability to like pause his pause his aging, or maybe he's just set it to slow. Maybe he put it on
Oh.
slow and he's just had this shit ongoing forever, kind of like Gojo's Infinity. Like he just doesn't turn it off. He always has slow aging going on forever and ever, so that he can just achieve shit that he wants to. And then
Dude, this is blowing my
Crazy.
fucking brain, bro.
bro. So I don't know what Trappy just said to put that thought in my head, but like I had not thought of that shit at all until a second ago.
So
Oh,
I actually
dude.
had
This is why Traffy does the Ranger stuff.
I'm about to buzz. No,
Oh, hell
I
no.
actually had a thought about that, specifically Suzukiri and her power, because his divine tool, Susanoo no Mikoto, increases his reaction speed, increases his reaction speed. Nobody has been shown to have any real significant speed feats within this series, so how could anyone counter that reaction time besides Suzukiri? She's the only one who could like pause in order to attack. The only issue with that is we saw Chidori react to it, so it's not foolproof.
Okay, yeah, and I just double checked while you were talking. So I just wanted to make sure that Susanoo no Mikoto wasn't the remote. So the remote was Tsukiyomi.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, we haven't seen this ability given to anyone else, and it also asked it poses the question where it's like having the ability to fucking reduce time to 0.00 of a second or whatever. It's like when you don't give an ability like this if the character doesn't like need it, other than like this one time where he needed to catch a knife or whatever. So like, what's going to happen in the story where he needs to be able to move that fast? It is just crazy to think about. And with the room, when you talked about the room being Kitty or whatever, the first thing I thought of was when she entered that room and saw the like fucking toys and shit. It just reminded me of Magatsu's like fucking
Same.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were in there, so I was
Isn't
like, maybe
it
he
like
just
exactly like that? Like, isn't that like the point, right?
it's very themed very similarly. So I thought he was just like, yeah, I like that. I'll do that with my crib or whatever. But maybe this is really his thing, and he's just like a kid at heart or something.
So
Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. You can keep on your train of thought.
Oh, I was gonna say I was kind of it was interesting where like when she does show up and he's like, oh man, what a noisy alarm. He's like yawning and stuff. And like to me, I thought like maybe she had woken him up from a nap, like when the TV dropped down and he's talking to her from the other floor. But then she goes upstairs and he's like up here with Guji, Yuta Guji, and it's like, bro, you weren't asleep. Why are you yawning? Y'all up here chopping it up? Like, what are y'all?
They were sleeping together.
I guess. Okay. Maybe he just was like talking. He was yapping a lot to dude, and then she showed up, and he's like, "Man, I've been talking for a while. Like, I it's a lot of shit going on."
But one thing I did want to point out, another thing actually, their plan for their big episode to turn Hisui into an invader.
Bruh.
So we saw
That's
with
crazy.
Alzome that when they turn into an invader, they still retain their personality. So what good would this do him when, all it would really do is give Hisui a power boost?
Well, maybe it works like mechanically in a way to where like after so many injections you lose your sense of self.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
that's
there's
fair.
also like V was tweeting about it on Twitter where he where there was times where you look back and other executives are saying like kind of exposing it, like when they killed Magatsu at first, right before they killed him in his dreamy school or whatever, he was like, don't forget us executives were the real victims of your so-called justice. So he was kind of hinting at like, you guys, made us.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
So like a lot of this shit has been breadcrumbed and sprinkled in, throughout the whole thing. And Peltrola has this unwavering fucking hate for like humanity and shit. And this probably because they fucking made him in a tank. Like he was probably a cool dude with a good life, and they turned him into a fucking god complex dickhead, and now he just can't stand anybody. And it's just like even Hisui turning into an executive, like, yeah, she might keep herself, but like they would just treat her as a monster and attack her relentlessly to the point where she has to run. Like humans aren't going to be like, oh yeah, executive's running over to talk to me to tell me that she's not really a bad guy. I'll listen to her. Like they're going to see whatever form she takes and freak the fuck out and run. And that might like over time, like maybe some of the executives did try that. Like when they became executives, they probably tried to, go like, hey, I'm not a monster. But like everyone looks at them like, you're a monster, get the fuck. And it kind of breaks them. Like even if it's not like a repeated trial to further fuck their brains, like maybe just like over time it's like they give up, or like the animalistic instincts kind of just take over time if they don't get treatment immediately type shit.
Yeah.
But
oh, and I'm on like page 13 right now, and like I know it's fuck Shinya. I know we're definitely big fuck Shinya gang over here. But like this panel, he's done splendidly with this like coiling, like snaky, like screen tone pattern that Negiharba loves to use.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's a screen tone or if it's like drawn. I feel like it's definitely a screen tone. But
Yeah.
like it's just such a good like sinister vibe vehicle, and I love it. And Negiharba's not like the only mangaka who's used this pattern or whatever. But like I feel like this is like his like staple like artistic like flair, because he uses it so often, and it's just
he uses it a lot.
It's such a good way to communicate like that fucking like creepy, sinister, evil like vibe, and I just love its use here in this panel for Shinya, dude. Like it makes me go like, holy shit, this dude is so scary, and I can't wait for him to die.
Yeah, he's just got a lot in his bag, man, and he's just like he's prepared for every situation. Like Hisui pulls up, and these fucking gun mechs pop up out of the walls. Like when she's in this, she's like, "So this is how you welcome me?" Like, what the fuck? Like mini guns, just robot. The fucking wallpaper peels off, and it's just the plates on the wall. And just have mechs with sniper rifles and chain guns in there. It's crazy.
Wait, and then this Kuroko, also on the same page, on page 13, this like art kind of like tripped me out with like the two hands like holding the hilts of
same.
like the dragon saber. I was like, so wait a minute, is this two people? No, this is one person.
Yeah,
Right?
at first I thought it was
just
an executive, and then I realized, yeah, she's just holding it like instead of her left hand and right hand are crossed, but she's holding it with both hands.
That just feels like such like an inefficient way to hold that weapon in a situation like this. Like, why wouldn't one arm be like grabbing the back of like, like either Hisui's hair or like the back of her like outfit or something to like keep her still or something like that? Because it's like, I don't know, if I'm Hisui, I'm fucking ducking under this bitch and backfisting this motherfucker or something like that. It's like you have no stability here. Like you're just like standing awkwardly, and I feel like I want to take advantage of that.
I mean, she has the blade already against her throat, so even if she did try to like duck or headbutt her or something, any slight movement is going to cause it to slice regardless.
I don't see no impression. I don't see no divot. You know what I'm saying? Like this might not even be touching her shit. Like if there's any air in between this blade and this neck at all, it's like Hisui should just fucking James Bond headbutt this bitch in the fucking nose real quick and reposition.
So on the page where he uses the Susanoo no Mikoto, it does show it up close, and it is pressed into her throat.
Wait a minute, let's see.
Yeah, it's a little close.
Where that at?
That's on 16.
Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. But some time has passed though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like 3 pages later.
Yeah, she didn't already spit the blade out at that point. And now she's probably like, okay, you can't be reasoned with. I'm gonna, because she says, I'm sorry, please don't come back to haunt me. So
yeah, that's fair.
It's like, I don't know. Like either way, this girl is still outclassed, because like Hisui was a fucking prodigy. Like I don't know how we don't know how the Kuroko ranks work, and how strong your average Kuroko is, but we saw fucking Sosei beat the living shit out of like 12 of them, and Hisui was a fucking prodigy. She shot up to rank 1 at age 10. Yeah. So this fucking timid chick who's playing, you know, both sides, and you know, she's in yellow and she's in fucking pink as a Kuroko. Like, I think she is way out of her fucking league. She's
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think she's playing both sides. I think that's kind of the status of all Kuroko members. I feel like they're
Okay.
all assigned to pink, but they're also in yellow because they work for yellow. Like, none of
Okay.
their commands really seem like they've come from the pink battalion. Because mainly the only thing we've seen them do is they took out the old pink keeper before Sakurama's sister, and then she went to go retrieve the chop. So
Yeah, this was
we've
the one that
only
got the
seen them
chop.
do two things, and none of them really seem to actually benefit the pink battalion.
Yeah, and I guess that I think at some point I don't remember if we were having a conversation, but I was definitely like wondering like if there was some kind of like shadow boss for Pink who's like controlling these guys, because it didn't seem like Cicera to me was the one. You know, if the Kuroko would wipe out the last Pink, then I don't think the Pink battalion is the one controlling the Kuroko. So it's like these are like the Anbu Black Ops, and you know, fucking.
They need a Danzo.
Yeah, they need a Danzo, and it's Shinya, who is also, you know, in the front facing, you know, where everybody can see he's running the yellow battalion, but he's also secretly leading this like second branch of the pink battalion that nobody is supposed to know exists because they operate in the shadows. So that's cool that Shinya is like the boss. I mean, it makes sense if that's the case, and I think it always makes sense. I just was wondering if there would have been someone else that we maybe saw who was that head, but Shinya fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, but executive Hisui, man, I don't like it and don't want it to happen. So I really hope
It better not.
No.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, like that would be like a crazy, like massive twist to the plot. Like, I mean, at this point, we know, you know, to
That's
have
not
it
the
happen
kind of
now.
twist we want. I'm about to drop this shit if he does that. No,
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if it happens now, if it happens now after we know, like, that was the plan of Shinya, like, is it still a plot twist? Because I mean, plot twists are like when you don't, yeah, it's like when you don't expect it, and it's like, oh shit. But like, I mean, this is still a twist for the story. Like, this is something that no reader would have ever expected to happen.
I
A
think
fan favorite character.
I think that plot twist can still happen with setup, but like not this much. Like that'd be too obvious for it to like qualify as like a plot twist. For
Yeah,
me
this is
or
just
whatever.
a thing happening.
Like all plot twists like should have like a level of foreshadowing, but like only the kind where it's like retroactive and you go back and go, oh my god, this was setting it up the whole time, not like something extremely blatant like this. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it would be a turn in the story, you know. I can't believe that, you know, fan favorite top 3 character got fucking turned into a fucking alligator monster and, you know, executed type shit. But like, it would be ballsy. I don't think he would kill this character. That would be incredibly ballsy. But also, you know, people like balls, you know.
Yeah, especially me.
Okay, yeah, that's getting clipped and going into a short. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to see, you know, where this goes and like, what does he have in mind? Does he have you know, preference? Can he turn her into you know, can he turn her into an alligator, or can he turn her into you know, a little monkey or something? You know, what animal would Hisui turn into? And
dude, Hisui monkey would be crazy. I might not drop the series then if it's Hisui monkey.
So we already have the monkey though. I don't see them repeating that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just randomly throwing out animals. Plus, like, Azome wasn't like an animal that we know of. I mean, maybe it'll, you know, be revealed that she was like fucking Godzilla or something, but who knows? But yeah, I'm ready to see what the fuck happens, and I need Sosei to come in here and beat the shit out of everybody. And
one man army Rambo Sosei next chapter is about to be fucking god tier, bro.
Need him to go find Sosei number 4, 3,
bro.
Go beat the shit.
Yeah, we just see like a moment of him just beating the face off of the other Sosei. Just
nigga.
beating hands just
It-
pounding him into nothing.
If we get that, bro, like I'm gonna start crying, throwing up. I'm gonna come and start farting, all that shit.
Oh, hell nah.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
That shit would be perfect. He beats the shit out of the new Sosei. He takes his suit, he puts it back on, and then we get the "we're so back" line again.
Bruh.
Yo.
Bruh.
That would be a
Bruh.
perfect way to end things.
I'd lose it, yeah. But fucking yeah, he's got to make a scene, bro. And I wonder like what information, because this is like a day or two after the fight with D or whatever. So I can't wait to find out, because I thought this chapter was going to open straight up into that. We didn't get D or Neo Ranger information at all. So I can't wait to see like next chapter if we jump into what was said, what sent Red here, if it was just like the plan, like we're doing a multiple pincer attack. Hisui's gonna go in, try and get some information, like I said before. So say you gonna fucking attack, and then we gonna send people through the fucking sides. We taking Yellow's ass out now. It's all exciting.
This I feel like it would make an interesting arc if this arc just focused on Hisui and Sosei, and it was like a buddy cop duo arc where they're just going around fucking shit up by themselves.
Dude,
Yo,
that would be scotch.
And I mean, Hisui at no point during this really was she ever looking frazzled. I mean, when the Kuroko chick pushed the blade up against her neck, she's got like the sweat on her face, because I mean, the blade is a blade, but like when Yellow's getting in her face and shit, she never like lets up or fucking, she's looking him straight in the face. It's like you talking this good shit, and your life is about to fucking end.
Yeah, she is so calm.
Yeah, she's very calm and calculated. I am very much ready to see like where this goes, and like if next chapter opens up with like, yeah, so you got about 30 seconds to tell me what I want to know, or like shit's gonna get real bad in here, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
You see the Avengers roll up, and it's just Sosei, Chidori, D, all of the Neo Rangers.
Oh yeah, then it's real skeet, my nigga. I'm
real skeet is crazy.
I'm painting the walls with that chapter, my nigga.
All right,
like that SpongeBob episode.
Real skeet is insane, bro. But yeah, I think unless I'm missing something, which I'll just catch and mention next time, I think I've squeezed out everything for this chapter from my brain. What about you, Weeb? You got anything else?
No,
I think everything's basically been covered.
Okay. What about you, Knox?
No, I'm good.
And Traffy, you got anything else?
Nah, I squeezed it all out too.
Okay.
We
I hate you.
There we go. We all squeezed out, baby. Chapter 155, properly squeezed. And now we move on to our Shonen Jump segment, where we are talking about Ichi the Witch, Chapter 5, or excuse me, 5th Hunt. Shira Bedona, the Analytic Witch. Knox, let's hear your thoughts.
Hey, real butter, real scotch, dog. Like I was saying on Twitter though earlier tonight, man, Ichi's got that goat factor, man. Like already, like so early in the series, like I'm just so in love with this chapter. Okay, so like the setup of him noticing something about the mirror, into him like choosing to attack the mirror out of like a gut feeling instead of the target that they gave him, to like the revelation that his gut feeling was actually correct, and getting the information about the witch association watching him through the mirror. Like, I don't know, man. To me, like that's that goat MC shit that we see in like so many successful series, like creating intrigue with like quick little unknowns that culminate into these like hype driven character moments. Like it's very Gon, like it's very Luffy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could definitely feel Gon doing that. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, like him not like doing what was instructed of him and making us go like, oh, like what's he up to? And then that ending up like impressing everyone in the room is so fucking tight, man. Like I don't know. Like I was just talking about it earlier on Twitter. Like this came like right on time, you know what I mean? Especially after the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, this creative team comes in, and we've been saying it for like every review, like so far or whatever. So like I don't want to like keep, beating a dead horse or whatever, but like every single chapter that comes out from this just makes me more and more excited for the future of the series, as it should, you know what I mean? If it's a good fucking story, like every chapter should do that, especially in a magazine like Weekly Shonen Jump. But
yeah,
like And also, dude, um, the comment that they made about him being like a novice, but operating like magic on like a feeling or whatever reminded me of like Ubel from Frieren.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, do you remember
yeah, that's good.
the writing? Yeah, you remember the writing that they gave her where like the one dude who was like a book nerd, like mage, was like, you couldn't tell me how your magic worked, like if your life depended on it. Like
Yeah.
you didn't get this knowledge from books. Like this is straight like instinct. Like this is all like intuition, but you're operating on the level of a scholar anyway. And that was so fucking tight to me in Frieren at the time, and to just like feel that in this Ichi chapter was just like so fucking gas, bro. And the analytic witch, like, what's her name?
Sure, but
Shirabadana.
Sure, but
Yeah,
yeah.
incredible character design. I
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
love
fun.
I love like this everything about this character so far, but like her studying Ichi as he first enters the academy is that's where they're at, right? This is like an academy or whatever, or is this just
Yeah.
like a okay, yeah. So like her studying him as he's introduced to everybody is such a good like idea for a vehicle to deliver information and answer like power system questions that we've been having since the series started. And it makes sense that they'd want him to demonstrate his abilities too. So the whole scene just like works so well. And then like tying the chapter up with Uroro using that scene as like a reason to try and entice Ichi to attack the witches also makes so much sense for his character. And everything is just like falling into place like puzzle pieces in this narrative, and everything that happens builds off of what came before in such a satisfying way that it's just like holy fucking shit, we literally have that series right now in Weekly Shonen Jump that we've been waiting like so long for, through all of these act series that have come and gone, that like felt like they were doing something that could be like up next big hit, the next, you know, wildly successful series, like akin to like Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever. And then they like eventually get axed or something. They start like dropping the ball in some kind of way. Like Ichi the Witch, like truly for like the first time in like a while, feels like the one that will stick and will be that one.
Yeah.
And like this is
Yeah.
like a chapter that like totally solidifies that for me. We've been saying it since like chapter 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like this is the one that had me like, there's no more fucking doubt in my mind, bro. Like this is it for real, for real.
Yeah, 'cause at
And
first
we
it was
haven't
like,
even got like the big villain yet. You know what I'm saying? We've
Yeah.
been saying like, where's the first real villain? Like that's like the litmus test. Like that's what will like, you know, kind of communicate to us in like an extremely confident way that this is what we think it is. And it doesn't even need to do that yet. And the
Yeah.
feeling is still so like fucking, I don't know what word I want, pungent, unctuous. I don't know. But we
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
baby. I'm so
We-
fucking hyped right now.
We definitely here. This chapter does a lot, and it's like the first couple of chapters they were fun and they were great, but it mostly just focused on the same, 2 or 3 characters. But now we're getting to see other characters, which is something that we have specifically said we wanted a lot, and I'm sure other people have been wanting to see other characters, so that it doesn't just it's not only the Discaris and Ichi show. But now we have these other fun characters like Shira Belladonna, and she's a
You're a
lot of
bibbity
fun.
bobbity boo.
Yeah, she's fun, and I like what I see.
Yeah, I know you do.
When she came out the ground, I was like, okay, this
Yup.
one for me.
Yup.
Yeah. Horny
yeah,
bastard.
and it's like she's fun, man. And they throw her, they take Ichi's hair, put it in a little cat ball, and throw it. She's got like the cat claw gloves too, so she's just rolling around the ground or whatever, playing with this ball with his hair in it. She's a fun character already, and I could just see like the cast being filled with fun, goofy, quirky characters who all have their things like that.
Yes.
So one thing or two things. First, I really like how she comes out of the portal foot first, and then she has like the eyeballs in her shoes, and she's already analyzing him before she even gets out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow, I didn't even fucking think about that, dude. Good spots.
So another thing, when she does come out of the ground, she shouts Sachikila, which fun fact here, Sachikila translates to "they don't grow up."
Ooh.
Hmm.
Bang.
Okay.
Whatever that means here, I don't know, but I thought it was a fun fact to know.
Yeah, that was fire.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder where that's gonna go. Okay, so that was a thing we learned. So
I was
yeah.
so like, I like for a second, like in this dialogue where she's like, I'm staring at you with my own eyeballs and I still can't believe it. All right, take them clothes off, my nigga, get butt naked. Let's see what's going on
Yeah.
with them. You know, I was like, no.
I would
But
be
then
like,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
it's like fine, like, because like I'm sure it's not going to be, you know,
It's
like
not gonna
it's,
go anywhere.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to go
Yeah.
anywhere. It's not probably not going to be like a recurring thing. Like if that's just like a regular point of comedy in her character, where she's constantly just like, all right, are you ready to get naked yet? Let's see them holes or something. Like I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's like the first thing that I like feel like I don't like about this series.
But even then,
yeah,
I don't think it'll
I
be
don't
a
think
thing
so.
because it
Yeah.
won't be like, even if they do have her constantly ask him to take his clothes off, it's not sexual. It's just so she
Right.
can research. So she's not
Exactly.
attracted
She's
to him. It's
she's
just
very in love with her work.
Exactly.
yeah. It's like, this dude can do magic. Let me see. Like I don't have
Yeah.
6-pack abs. Let me see what those are like.
Yeah,
you
let-
know?
But
Like,
if it
Yeah, let me
reaches- if it-
dissect you for a bit.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it does eventually reach like, you know, what can be considered like a gratuitous state of like bringing up this like joke or whatever, then it's going to like, I feel like it'll damage immersion for me to a certain degree because I know that that joke is for a certain area of the audience, even if
Yeah.
you can narratively explain it away, like in her character as just being like hyper obsessed with like analysis and research or whatever. Like it still feels like a metatextual nod to weirdos if they keep using it, which I want to say I'm sure that they won't, but I just
Yeah.
had to like bring that up because I don't, you know what I'm saying, want to be a glazer or nothing and act like
Yeah.
this shit is like flawless or whatever. So I just
It
wanted
is.
to say it just in case. And I agree, but I just want to, just in case, you know, throw like one small point of criticism out there. But anyway,
The scene where he's summoning Raiko, that shit is gas.
yes,
It looks so
dude.
cool.
yeah.
That 2-page spread was pun intended was electrifying, pun intended.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like even like just like the big fucking dedicated panel on page like 11 or something like that, where he's just standing there like, you know, dead on, straight looking at the camera with the Raiko cloud
Yeah.
behind him and the knife in his hand is like, I think my favorite panel in the chapter.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
like, Jesus Christ, that double page spread next is so good too.
Really just shows off him, you know, as a hunter. Like this is how he will approach like his prey
Yes.
when he's stalking it. Like you
Yeah.
see me, I see you, I'm going to kill you. And this
And
is,
it goes back
this
to
is-
what we were talking about in like earlier Ichi reviews, like when there was only like 1 or like 2 chapters or whatever, and like me and probably us, I can't remember exactly, but like I remember specifically saying I hope that they keep the hunting theme primary and the magic, you know, theme secondary for Ichi's character
Yeah.
specifically. I think that that is a really good idea, and like I think they agree, and I'm just like so happy to see that like, you know, being focused on outside of you know, him just being like, and there's still a lot of magic going on, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but they're making sure that they do not skimp on the hunter aspect of his character, which I'm just really happy to see.
I love how it goes from the explanation of, okay, so as long as you don't activate Aurora, you know, you're fine. You have enough magic to use anybody else but him. And then
Yeah.
it goes directly into, why did you target the ceiling and not the target? And he's like, I felt something dangerous.
Yes, dude. And
Yeah.
that's so good. And also, just because I'm on the page, they said since you acquired that magic, only you can read what's on the stone. That word is Raiko's true name. So that's like new information as far as like how this kind of works mechanically, which is like really good for power system stuff. But it also makes me wonder, like, okay, so he's the only one who can read it, but that like we know that this with information that we've gotten in previous chapters, that doesn't mean that he's the only one who can invoke it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she gave him, like, if you just know the word, then you can still do it, right? But
or
like,
maybe
yeah,
maybe it's like having the stone gives you access to a certain ability of that element. So like he only, like if it's limited, like only he can use this, what is it called, lightning claw, but maybe he can share
Oh.
like lightning bolt with somebody and they can then
Sure.
use a lightning attack, but they, without knowing what's inscribed on the stone, they can't chant lightning claw and do this or whatever. But I
Okay.
mean, now that they've heard him use it, you know, now they heard him say the word, you know, Inazuri, so maybe they can do it too. I don't know. It's definitely got a few more chapters worth of
yeah,
explanation.
we still need more writing for that.
Yeah,
because
'cause-
maybe it's just like Inazuri, when Ichi says it, uses lightning claw, but then Inazuri, when someone other than Ichi says it, uses either a different ability at random or maybe associated like directly to the person who is chanting the thing will get like, you know, like if Descaris says Inazuri, she gets lightning bolt, but then if Shibbity Bobbity Boo or whatever her name is says Inazuri, she gets like, you know, thunder or whatever, if we're keeping it on fucking like Pokemon terms or whatever.
Yeah.
But like maybe it's dedicated to the or specific to the person, or maybe it's like a random like roulette wheel through like all of the lower level abilities of Raikou, since they weren't the person, you know, who like actually captured him or whatever. Like there's a lot of possibilities still there that we need writing for to confirm.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting though. Yeah.
Discard's definitely says like the stone inscribed. The words are Raikou's true name. So it seems like Inazuri is definitely on that stone, and that's its true name. And when he says it, it does this lightning claw ability. But like to say that only you can see it means that there's something that we just haven't been like given yet an explanation for.
Yeah.
He says it feels like he was swinging a great scythe and it was difficult to control.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be a point of learning for him. Maybe they don't say the chants out loud and they say it in their heads in order to avoid giving the word away.
I guess I could see that. But there's also just when, you know, the first two chapters, Descaris says the magic word to do one thing, and then he says it, and then she tells him the word for, you know, restoration, and then so like those words can be shared. It's just like if to say that like only you can use it, maybe it's like only you can see it, and if you share it, then we all can do it. But
yeah.
like,
So wait a minute, Traffy, are you saying that when Ichi says Inazuri on page 12 or whatever in this double page spread that he's like only saying it to himself?
No, I'm saying like
Okay.
He said it out loud here, or at least that's what it looks
Yeah.
like. But
no,
what
he
if it's
definitely
like
did because of the dialogue bubble shape is what I was going to say, just in case. But yeah. Anyway,
like I just mean like, what if it's a point for learning? So after this, they're like, hey, when you normally use magic outside of this, you know, don't say the word out loud because then you're giving that power away.
Well, that would actually bring a lot of really interesting questions to the discussion about this power system then, because, you know, if it is like an incantation, then that implies that you have to speak it verbally or else it won't work. If they're also going to say that you can just say it in your mind and then it'll activate, it's like you can accidentally think of things all the time. Like if I tell
like
you,
don't
if I
think
tell
of
you,
elephant.
yeah, and then you're gonna think of elephant. Like if I say don't think about apples, and you're gonna probably say the word apple in your mind immediately after that, and then oops, I just fucking hit you with apple attack or whatever. So, but yeah, glad we touched on that though.
Yeah. I do like the double spread though, showing off, you know, the different, I guess, factions of witches. There's a lot of cool and interesting designs going on here.
Mm-hmm.
We got like an old lady faction, I guess.
Yeah. At first, I thought this girl with like the corset or whatever and the fucking Doflamingo mink. I thought that or the whatever the fuck that is, the feather showl or the fur coat or whatever. I thought she had like a beard or something at first, and I was like, oh, what we doing here? But I think that's like scars.
I was still thinking
it
like
might be
beard.
scars or some sort of accessory, maybe.
But then also like Shorty to the left of old girl with the mink, like also has like a similar scar beard pattern or whatever.
It looks more like an accessory on that character. Like we were saying, like maybe they have like jaw, like he's sweet, but like, you know, they wrap it around the bottom of their jaw or whatever type shit.
I do want to point out.
No, I'm kidding.
I do want to point out the chick on the right, the one that has like mouths in her hair. That is a cool design.
Yeah, that is a cool fucking design.
What does she do with those mouths in her hair?
You know what I'm thinking, shit.
Bro, and she's like crying behind her. She's got this little like devil plush doll thing, and these designs are all just very cool.
That should look like a Pichu.
yeah, that's what that is. Devil Pichu with fucking
evil
horns.
Pichu, dog.
I like the one up top, the one that's got like the fucking jester fucking hearts, and you know, fucking. It reminds me of Mikhail or whatever from Make the Exorcist Fall in Love. They kind of they kind of dress like that or whatever, super like, oh my god, I'm so pretty, and you know, shit like that.
So I
So
didn't peep that old girl with the mouths in her hair was actually crying. That's actually a really good spot. Okay, so like, what does that mean then? Is she crying because she's like, oh, it's so beautiful that a dude can use magic. I'm obsessed with him. Or is she like, this is an abomination to our entire organization, and I'm so sad that a dude is using magic.
I took it as like she's afraid or something, like, oh, this guy is doing this and he destroyed our mirror or whatever. Things are gonna change. This is scary. She might not
Yeah.
like change or whatever. But
Could
we
just
got a
be like
musician.
adoration. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
We got a musician chick too. She's got a guitar and shit.
Yeah,
Music
what's up with
magic
old
goes
girl
crazy.
with the eye patch and the braid in the background though? I feel like she's like a fighter type.
Yeah. She's
Got an
pugilist.
ice type too.
Pugilist, yeah.
Wait, where's we got an ice type, you said? Oh yeah, okay. I can
All in
see
all layers.
the bottom right.
Oh shit, yeah, I just peeped. Yeah, I didn't look
yeah,
at
the
this double page
snowflake
spread long
looking
enough, to be
things.
honest with you. I'm kind of glad that I didn't though, because now
Yeah.
I'm like really peeping it here for the conversation. But
It's interesting
we
though.
got
We
a
got a
lot
lot
of
of
crazy character designs here,
Yeah.
actually.
We got at least 6 like characters who could potentially be major players for upcoming arcs.
Oh, we got
I-
old girl with like the broken nose. She got like a fucking Nelly band-aid over her nose, like chilling, like sitting behind like the one with the mink on. It's like I'm on a vertical screen looking at this, so I have to like
Yeah,
click.
yeah.
I have to click through the double page spread myself. But
I like
yeah,
I like how like each of their individual portraits kind of tunes you into what their powers are. So like
Yeah.
if you go down through it, you can make predictions. So like this first chick with the jester hat, she's got like I guess it's just hanging in her room, but she has a bunch of like moons and suns, so she might have some power that relates to that.
Some kind
yeah.
of cosmic energy.
And
Yeah.
then you have
Old girl at the bottom right to that looks like kind of like old. She's got like an umbrella and like a very like Victorian, like, kind of like aesthetic to her garb that she's wearing or whatever. It's kind of giving Dorian Gray vibes a little bit too, especially with the mirror chilling right there.
Yeah, and then you have, as Weeb said, the ice chick, and then I'm gonna assume the chick with mouths in her hair can attack with her hair, like it's hair related magic.
Yeah.
And then
Just
we
gobble you up right quick.
and then we have the music chick, and then the last chick. I'm going to assume she turns into an animal. It's very
Okay.
animalistic theme. The fact that she's
Which
wearing
one?
like the mink coat, the
Oh,
one
yeah,
that looks
yeah,
like she
yeah.
has I can just imagine her shapeshifting into like a bear to beat the shit out of someone.
Yeah, I can see these being brawlers. Like, yeah, we gonna
Yeah.
use fucking knuckle up magic or whatever.
She looked like with the corset and the mink, she looked like what's that nigga name from Haikyuu, main character?
Hinata. Yeah.
Yeah, low key a little bit with that hair going on.
Yeah. But the designs that they gave us are really cool. These characters are all obviously gonna play some part, but this fucking Uro panel, where Ichi's sitting and Uro's behind him, that shit is cool as fuck.
It is.
Fire.
So
Real sick. And I
looks
think
like
it's really cool how like after all of that dialogue from Uroro where he's like, hey bro, fuck with me. Let's fuck these witches up. You see how they got you in this fish tank right now?
yeah.
They playing with you, gang. Let's just go crazy real quick. And the last panel is Ichi going like, interesting. I feel like the very next fucking panel that we get is him just gonna be slicing this dude in half again.
Probably.
Like,
probably
nah, we not
totally
doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with these
Yeah.
witches, bro. Come on, stop playing.
But it would really be interesting if he at least like listens to it. Like, yeah, they did,
Yeah.
kind of, they didn't really trust me. And I mean, sure, it's, it makes sense for them not to trust me, but like he sensed, what did he say when he shot up there? He was like, it felt like,
He's like, there's a little bit of malice going on behind these
Yeah,
mirrors,
yeah.
bro. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to hunt something.
Yeah,
And even
it's like-
Uroro is like, don't you want to hunt these bitches? And he's like, maybe, so it's like, I don't know what can happen, but I think
Yeah.
it would be funny if the next panel he's just like, shut up, nigga, and just like sliced him.
probably would.
I do want to give kudos to the panel of Uroro behind Ichi, because they could have just had him there, but they have
Yeah.
like him in the motion of rising, and like I
Yeah.
can picture that in motion, and it just looks so cool. It's like I imagine it like the Yuta scene when he first walks into the classroom.
Yeah.
Oh, and
JJK's
then Manifest Rika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then
do you guys think that this is like an actual manifestation of Uroro, like in real time, like anyone can see that, or do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
'cause
that?
I think so,
they
because it
all
was
scream.
pointed out.
Yeah, they
Well,
all
yeah,
scream, row, 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 row.
yeah, they could tell that like that's his like presence maybe for sure. You know what I mean? But are they actually seeing this crazy weird bird with the lion's mane the way that
I
we
think
see it like, as
I
the
think so, yeah.
reader? Yeah, you think
Yeah,
so?
I think
Yeah.
so for sure, 100%. And
Okay.
then he's even like guiding, like I'm guessing, like like you can see on this last page at the top left panel, his like feathers or magic or whatever seems like it's like engulfing or maybe like guiding, picking up Ichi's arm, like, yeah, go ahead and pick up that blade, man. Go ahead and point it at
Yeah.
them, like, listen to what I say. Take a minute and think about it. Like maybe we should do a little witch hunting, and it's like, he's kind of guiding Ichi. Obviously, he's probably going to always try and guide him to hunt witches instead. But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting if he at least like entertains it for a second. Like maybe these witches ain't so good, but like Uroro was definitely trying to kill humans. Like that was his whole, like he's not a good person. So it's like you can't trust this guy at all.
Yeah, but I think it's also important that, Uroro isn't just all talk and all like, evil trying to, entice Ichi into like doing things that, he might not want to do. I want there to be a little bit of truth to like what Uroro says at the end of the day, too,
Yeah.
just to give his character that much more like oomph, you know what I mean, narratively or whatever. Because if it's literally just him like trying to be like the devil on your right shoulder or whatever and like saying shit to like make you do shit and there's like no basis for it or whatever, then like I feel like I would be a little bit disappointed in that. So I feel like one of these witches have to end up being like shitty and doing some weird shit to like make Uroro that much more I don't know what word I want here, but that I haven't already used, but like you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm really excited for the writing, just because like Iruma, like reading that weekly, that shit just keeps getting better and better, and it's just like I can really see the crazy places that this could possibly go, and they're adding a lot of fun characters, and Iruma does it too, where they add a ton of new characters, and they're all fun, and they all get lots of good screen time, and I like the male chick, she's part of this like witches research club, which I thought was interesting because like I thought she was the male lady, but I guess the male lady is also part of the research club. I mean, who says you can only? I'm not gonna say she can only do one thing. You can do as many things as you want, girl. It's your world. But
Yeah.
last chapter ended with them crashing through the building, and this chapter is Ichi and Discaris walking through these decorated halls, and then they're just here, and it's like, hey, welcome, Master Ichi and stuff. It was kind of. It kind of felt like I missed a chapter, but like I guess things just it's just how they
Yeah.
I
flow.
felt the same way.
Yeah. And now that I'm looking at this last page, I just want to comment on the art in this like middle panel where Uroro is like do a little witch hunting instead or whatever, because you have just like such good like layering here, that delivers like a really good contrast in the panel. You got this like boxy, like geometric, like screen tone pattern in like the cape of Uroro, like down to the bottom left, and then that goes into like the cross hatching shading in the actual knife, like past the stark whites and stark blacks of Ichi's face, and then into this like shadowy, still kind of like boxy but like almost smoky screen tone pattern like above Ichi's head, going into Uroro's like beard thing or whatever that is, and then again into the stark blacks of his actual face, and then it's just like layered like so well. It communicates like all of the line work in such an awesome way. And then you have like the feathers that have like this like gradient style like shading from stark black into gray.
You never see his eyes either. It's just like real menacing, real over the shoulder type shit.
I just noticed he's got
Usazaki's
gauges.
so good, huh?
I just noticed Uroro has gauges.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even peep that.
This man is sauced up.
He went and got pierced.
Oh, and there's also like a peacock feather like shooting out of the left side of the dialogue bubble behind like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his little shit. Oh,
fuck. He's got a lot going on in his design, man. He's a cool looking character.
Yeah, dude.
Let me see if there's anything else I had to say about chapter 5. I mean, chapter 5, we're very close to the end of the volume. If not, I think first volumes are sometimes shorter. So volume 1 might not be 7 chapters. This would have been a good chapter to end the volume on if it isn't already, the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
cliffhanger. And it's like, oh, what the fuck happens in volume 2 for people who are only reading physically?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see where the volume ends and what happens for the final chapter for the volume if this isn't it. Next week we get to see some cool shit. I'm out of stuff to talk about for this chapter. What about you, Knox?
I'm good too.
What about
Phenomenal
you?
chapter though.
Yeah, what about you, Weed?
I'm good.
And Traffy?
I'm good.
All right, that's going to do it for Ichi the Witch chapter 5. All right, and moving into Astro Royale chapter 24, Kenpa's Wish. Traffy, what do you got to say?
All right. So first thing, it looks like my theory was partially correct in regards to what's her name?
Kenpa?
The lawyer chick.
Oh, Riri?
Oh,
Ray, yeah. So, she says an astro born from sadness, just like mine. So it does look like, it's probably something in regards to, her looking towards the past or wanting to change the past, something trauma related. So, I'm right as usual.
Oh my God, we're not going to do this.
Wait, is it Waffy season?
Hell no.
It is
Never.
Waffy season.
Hell no.
But
Yeah, I'm interested.
yeah, other than that, this chapter really reiterates a lot of what we went over the last chapter. It's just kind of confirming that. But it is cool that, they confirm like, hey, this is the reason she had that power because, she went through this trauma and she wanted to disappear. She was hiding. And that's what led to her specific power, which I still think is such a cool way to integrate like characters with, a power system.
Yeah, exactly. And something I liked about this chapter was that one the I forgot the name of the cop guy. He showed up because Himuro, yeah, he planned to follow them, and I like how Kempa was kind of having like a bit seemed like she was having like a bit of like an attack when he showed up and then disappears.
You mean like a panic attack?
Yeah, like a panic attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to Hibaru just talking her up, she calms down. And I like that we got a bit of part of her backstory was she had been training with Hibaru since they were kids, preparing for the day when she could actually like get back at the guy that took her family from her.
Yeah, and they make sure that, like, they establish in the flashback that she never actually told Hibaru what she was trying to train for. Obviously, she would want to keep something like that, secret for certain reasons, but Hibaru doesn't need the answer at the time, you know what I mean? Because he's not, like, tell me everything, like, type
Don't
character
sweat the
or
details.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, hey, you trying to train? All right, let's get it. You clearly got something that, you're training for, and that's good enough for me, like, type shit. Because, like, the way that it's set up is like almost like subversion level, like based on like the history of like shonen, for example, because like I can see like in a lot of series, like Kinpa sees the guy who murders her family and like clams up and is like, oh no, I don't know what to do, my body can't move, like some male character like save me, and then Hibaru steps in, White Knight, like I got this, don't worry. But then like the subversion is like, no, she was always getting ready for this moment because she wants to beat the brakes off this nigga, for revenge. And then she goes into disappear and kind of has a moment where she's like, oh, I was scared, but it's not really fear, it's adrenaline and excitement because I finally get to fucking roundhouse this nigga. And Hibaru like brought me back to a state where I can like properly set up this attack and whatnot. It just felt so it landed so like well just because of like how much shonen we've read, I want to say, what I mean? Because how many fucking scenes have we seen where it goes the way that the chapter kind of set up before pulling the rug out from under you and going like, no, she was ready to kick this dude's face off, not just be scared until the main character saved her. Yeah, type shit. So I loved Ken Wakui for that. And this going back to what I was saying about how planned this series feels, with Himuro coming back around and going, I was waiting for you guys to come here, that's why I arrested Torzo to see what you guys would do, into like the Kinpa setup to like seem like a scared little girl who needs the mailman character to like save her. Oops, never mind, that's not actually what it was. Everything just feels so like thought out and thorough,
and
you know. Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense because last week I was wondering too. Remember, I was like, where are they gonna go? Because there's no like antagonist here. They just came here for like information, and like the information is stuff they already know. Like the bad guy, we already know their name and everything about them. They came here and took the thing. So where do we go from here? And it's like, okay, yeah, Himuro pulling up and being like, I got you, dumbasses. I knew y'all would take the bait and come here. It makes sense and it flows. And I guess I was probably the only one that looked at it this way, but like I guess I was wrong in the end. Just when Kenpo was saying like stop shaking and weak Kenpo, I took that as like an alter ego thing, like when she was like stop being weak, and then she kind of like just like snapped out of it, disappeared, and she went into like a fucking fucking ninja mode. Like she kind of like flipped the switch and changed, but I think it's just more like what you were saying, where it's like she was shaking, but also like excited, and then like Hibaru calmed her down, and that like allowed her to lock in because she's been training for this her whole life. But I was just like, stop shaking Kempa, go away, weak Kempa disappear. It felt like bad me go away and let the second personality inside take over or whatever. But I don't think that's gonna be the thing.
What you're saying.
Yeah. I don't think that's really gonna be a thing though. Very shocked though. This one chick when Hibaru goes to swing on Himuro, she just fucking waves that shit out the way. He's like, huh?
Yeah, she's gotta have like a momentum redirection type Astro or like a because it's definitely not just like raw strength that's deflecting the main character's big attack. Like it's definitely something a little bit more intricate mechanically that has less to do with power and more to do with like another area of physics
just
or whatever
movement. Taking
she got
that energy
baby
and
oil Astro. That shit just slid off her.
I'm screaming, nigga. No
but he's just
way.
standing there too. He knew. He's like, yo, he didn't break a sweat. Like, yep, it was a trap, bro. I want to see how you fools will react, bro.
Yeah.
She's just standing in front of him. That fucking gun, no, that shit's crazy. Scotty, is that how you say it? Scotty?
Yeah,
Goddess kiss.
that's like a Norse. That's like a Norse god. I remember her from Smite. Playing Smite. She's like she has like a spear and like a dire wolf or whatever that like chills with her, and she like has ice powers and shit like that.
So
I remember it as Norse.
my question is, he shoots, but it doesn't look like he shoots at Hibaru, who is literally right in front of him, but instead hits what's his face's shield.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would he shoot at him and not Hibaru, who's right in front of him?
I think that he shoots at what he believes is Hibaru, but then it was Buddy like pulling up and like putting the shield there instead. Right?
Like maybe he put the shield in front of Hibaru.
Yeah, and then Hibaru like kind of like bounced or something. Yeah.
It looks much further away, and then if you go further in the chapter, I don't know what page this is, but it shows that Hibaru is still standing like right in front of them.
Yeah, I think it's because they never showed like how close. What's the dude with the shield's name?
I forgot his name.
Narasu, I think.
Okay, yeah, they never like made a point in the art to show how close Shield Bro was to Hibaru in this whole scene. So it's slightly disorienting. I definitely agree.
Okay.
That it's like, where are they in relation to each other or whatever. But I definitely think that it makes the most
Wait, he might have turned like just said fuck it, because like in one like in the page where he's holding a gun, he's like guess I got the underage brat and the lawyer to think for that. He's clearly holding a gun like right in front of his face. But on next panel, he's kind of like, it looks more to the side, like maybe.
Oh sure, like maybe, he like turned it last minute to try to kill one of his homeboys, like spontaneously.
Yeah, he was like, I'm aiming a gun at you, and I'm gonna point it at the other guy. Fuck him.
Yeah,
like caught him off guard.
He had a shield, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's like nice reflexes. I mean,
Yeah, so
obviously you'd
yeah,
say
nice
that.
reflexes implies that he last minute like changed his trajectory to try to shoot a homeboy, but he
Yeah.
put the shield up anyway. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
you
that
probably
makes
say
sense.
nice reflexes when somebody blocks a bullet anyway, but like,
Oh, true.
I still, yeah, I feel like he had the gun aimed. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you now, and then he's like, nope, I'm
Well,
gonna kill your friend.
maybe this Himuro dude has like already seen the shield attack too, like from shield, bro. I can't remember if he has used his ability in front of Himuro like the first time that we saw Himuro's character or not. Maybe
Oh
he
yeah,
didn't.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, but what I'm more interested in is he shot the fucking gun straight up in the air randomly. Keep running Furukogi brat, but it don't matter if you're scared stiff and run and hide. He just shoots the gun directly above him, like straight up into the air randomly. I feel like that's going to be important later, like maybe in the next chapter, because like why would you
Maybe.
do that randomly?
And
Yeah,
he fired twice too.
did he?
Yeah, there is
Bang,
two
bang,
bangs there.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even peep. Yeah, that's definitely going to come into play later, like strategically, I want to say.
Yeah, at first I just
Yeah.
saw it and was like, he's just, high off himself. Like, yeah, kids keep fucking around, pow,
Yeah,
pow, pow. He was
rootin',
just,
tootin', six shooting,
yeah.
bing, boom.
I
Yeah,
got a gun and none of you fuckers do.
Nah, for real though. But I definitely think that Ken Wakui is setting something up with that. At least that's what I'm gonna say for now, at least. But maybe we do find out that he's just shooting his gun randomly because he's a fucking asshole. Who does
Yeah,
that?
it wouldn't surprise me though, for real. Like if somebody's about to they're closing the gap to like punch him again, and like a fucking shard of ice slams in between them.
Yeah,
He's
like
like,
a huge stalactite just
yeah,
like drops down and impales somebody. Like,
Mm.
ouch.
yeah, or just like separates him. So he's like, all right, party's over. I'm out of here or
That's
whatever.
more
But
likely. That's more likely.
Yeah.
but
No,
I mean,
nobody's getting impaled in this scene.
I mean, maybe we had people getting hit by cars and all kinds of shit in Tokyo Revengers, so it might
True.
have people.
And
People got
bro
shot for
just got
sure.
a fucking basketball size hole blown through his fucking chest last arc or whatever that was.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wouldn't. It
yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, I can see people dying in this shit, especially with
Yeah.
how many characters there are. Like somebody's getting brutalized.
True. At least there's no like time travel mechanic going on here, so they don't just say, "Oops,
So
never mind,
far.
everyone's Gucci." Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Time travel Astro, dude. If a time travel or a time manipulation Astro is introduced at some point in this story, I feel like we're going to have a lot to worry about, actually. But I'm not gonna like doom post in that way
Yeah.
right now. Like
we
Ken Wakui's got it. Okay.
we on the up and up
Yeah.
right now. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, far as that chapter goes, I don't really have much else to say. It was a good chapter. Closed up, Kimpa's little mini arc right here, or whatever. She got her get back on bitch boy, so he laid out.
Yeah.
We gonna see where that goes next week. But I'm as they say in showbiz, I'm squazzed.
You definitely don't say that. But last thing I want to say is I think next chapter we get a continuation of this fight, but it gets interrupted by like, the ice stalagmite thing that he shot
Yeah.
up in the air this chapter, and then he makes his little like Joker style getaway, like, I'll see you next time, Batman, or whatever. You know
I'll
what I
get you,
mean?
kids.
Yeah, I'll get you kids type shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? Weeby, got anything else?
I think I'm good. Just one criticism that I didn't notice upon my first read through, but
Oh,
once it was pointed out to me by like the comics on Manga Plus, I'm like, I see it now, is that there's, as Kimpa is running, there's an unnecessary amount of upskirts.
Let's see.
yeah.
Let's see if it's actual like upskirt and it's not like blocked by
There-
like some other body part or something like that. Though,
It's-
'cause-
There's one at the very end where she kicks.
yeah. The one before
Yeah.
that is blocked by her foot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah, that
so
last
there's
page.
there's one genuine upskirt. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fine.
but
I mean,
it's
whatever.
nothing. It's nothing too bad.
Yeah, I mean, she got to get back. She had to drop kick the fool in the neck. So
Yeah, I definitely think that he could have, if he wanted to, have moved that right foot closer, to the right to like block the butt area a little
Definitely.
bit better.
Or
But,
dual
yeah.
or dual Makoto Misaka from Scientific Railgun and just have her wear actual shorts.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. He could have put the dialogue bubble over the butt cheeks too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that could have been done there. Ken Wakui,
Yeah.
don't be a weirdo though.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you here, my nigga. Like, don't do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, but I think that was it for that chapter for me. What Traffy, you got anything?
Nah, I don't have anything.
All right, that's gonna do it for Astro Royale chapter. What was that? 24. That's 24. So now for the last segments of the night, we will dive into Kagurabachi, chapter 52. Just the two of us. And it is Chihiro versus I actually just forgot Buddy's name, but
Mahito at home.
yeah, Mahito at home. A lot of people were making the comparison where he's like, I'm you, me and you, we ain't too different, bro. You kill people, I
We're
kill
not so
people.
different, you and I.
Yeah. Man, it's like, I'm 18, you 18, you're a guy, I'm a guy, you kill people, I kill people. We kind of, we're exactly the same person. So this was a very interesting chapter. And, we start that off with Chihiro talking to Hiyuki about like breaking the pattern or whatever. They're always behind. And, shit's getting real. What you guys think about this chapter?
So
It was
yeah,
really
I
good.
It was. Yeah, go ahead, Traffy, though.
I first off, his name is Hirohiko, but I like this chapter. My only problem with it is this feels like retreaded grounds because when he went against what's his face, the
Sojo?
yeah, he basically had a similar dialogue, just equating Chihiro to him, and so it feels like they're kind of retreading that same ground, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well,
Do you
Sojo
remember?
kind
Do you
of.
remember the? Do you
I think
remember
it's
like the? Oh, do you
no,
remember like the direct like? I don't want to say like the direct like dialogue or whatever that Sojo had in his comparison to Chihiro, but like what was like the kind of shit that like Sojo was saying that like really made you remember him when it comes to Hirohito?
Let me go back and take a look, but y'all can continue from this point.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Sojo's deal was that him and Chihiro were kind of both wielding the blades, and they really just had that as their connection. But Sojo was really just a fucking huge fanboy of his dad's. I don't feel like he really like they disagreed. Like Sojo was like, these weapons are made to murder people. They're weapons and mass
Yeah.
destructive.
That's what
and
I remember too. And then Chihiro's like, no, this is for like the greater good to like save everyone and like prevent war. These are deterrents. And
Yeah,
Sojo's like, no, these are weapons of mass destruction. Let's kill people with them.
Yeah,
and after the clashes with the final fights, Chihiro ended up like accepting that his father and his work can be viewed in this light by others and can end up being some sort of influence over others through the tales and stuff like that.
yeah.
So
The thing,
he wants his thing to be right, so he doesn't want his memory of his father to be tainted in that way.
yeah.
So, but in this one, it's more so the comparison of like their specific actions, which is treading similar grounds, but I think it's doing it in a different way. With I think with how it's being presented, I think it's being done in a nice way to differentiate from it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
With Sojo, it's more of like he was learning that there's other ways to interpret like his father's true intentions and stuff. Like just because he grew up with his dad and knew him as a person, like everyone might have known a different version of his dad, and just because he knows some things doesn't mean like this other guy doesn't also know some things. But with Hirohiko's saying like, you kill people and I kill people, we're the same age, we got a lot of shit we can relate to, and it's not really like a disagreement. Like Hirohiko doesn't have anything that he's disagreeing with Chihiro on. Chihiro and Sojo completely were like at opposing like viewpoints on Chihiro's dad and like what type of man he was and what he wanted or whatever as far as these weapons. But this guy is like, we the same, bro. Like
Right,
we should
yeah.
be, we should be fucking the same, doing the same shit, playing the same. We should wear matching fucking outfits. So it's a little different, I'd say.
Exactly. Like Hirohito's like personality and like his strategy and his dialogue are just like really doing it for me. And this like paper technique that he has with these like origami like shits or whatever guiding his allies and whatnot, it reminded me of Lucas from the Bugle Call and his light powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first thing I thought of, like when we like the actual like writing and the dialogue of like what the origami was doing on the battlefield for his teammates. I was just like, oh shit, bugle call type beat.
Yeah, I definitely was kind of getting a similar vibe. I didn't think of bugle call, but I was just like, he's watching this fight with these fucking origami butterflies and giving these guys like instructions and shit, and it's real cool. I really like this guy's like his whole vibe and shit. Like his clothes, it looks like he's wearing like baggy clothes, long pants or whatever. And it's, I don't know. I just can't get the like movie character vibe out of my head. It feels like I'm watching a movie or like Sakamoto Days or something.
Yeah, nah, for real though,
Yeah.
this dude, like we've been saying in like, earlier reviews, like this dude has to be like some kind of cinephile or something like that because the shit
Yeah.
just feels like so cinematic and it's channeling, that 90s cool, kind of like vibe and aesthetic that you'd see in like something like The Matrix or like, a Johnny Mnemonic or something like that.
Yeah, I like how confident he is, the fucking Hirohiko kid, because he's not angry. Like Chihiro is obviously not fucking happy, wants to kill this dude, get some information out of him. But I feel like it's a similar situation with like Rengoku from Demon Slayer, where he's like, Akaza was telling him like, "Yo, be a demon, join me," and this kid's like, "Yo, we could be friends, bro. Like, we finally meet. My hands are covered in blood, so are yours. Like we got shit in common, bro. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't look angry at any
Right.
point. I don't think in this chapter he's just chilling, and then he sets up this perfect scene at the end where it's just like, now you look like the bad guy,
Right, and I just
like-
love like the layered, like confident, like strategy of like certain antagonists in these shonen stories that we have because, first he says like, yo, we have the anti-N10 like, special forces here, like we can fucking kill you, like we know what to do against your fighting style specifically. And then when Chihiro is like feeling the stress of that and goes, I need to attack anyway, like boom, he turns into a bunch of paper and was like, oh, it was a bluff. And then like bro goes to the fucking like Rakugo show or whatever. I don't know if it's Rakugo or not, but like just like the theater,
yeah, it looks
and
like
it's
Rakugo.
and it's like, oh, okay, he just wanted to stress him out before like he revealed like his ulterior motive of going over here and doing something. But then it ties back around to no, that actually wasn't a bluff. We actually do have strategies specifically for you. Oh, but you countered that too. And that's surprising. Good on you. You got it, kid. Fuck yeah. But then also, I'm still not worried because I expected this as well. And like just confident, not worried antagonists that like maintain their composure through like multiple layers of like things going right or going wrong, like back and forth, is just really well represented here with this guy. And that's just why I love this villain so much already, or this antagonist, whatever you want to fucking call him. But like the story of like the theater show like lined up with the events of the chapter like really well. Like it hits so hard the way that the dialogue kind of like goes into it. Where was it? On page 10, he's like, the hero, Sasuke, defeats the Black Ogre at the end of the story. He gets his family back and peace returns to the island. But overall, the hero's dull and the stage fighting is amateurish. It's boring. And then, like, eventually, towards the end of the chapter, he's like, you feel it, don't you? To the average person, you're a monster. And Chihiro's like, and whose fault is that? He's like, don't you see? Oh wait, no. This is after the fact. Hold on, wait a minute. They like tie it back into the stage play.
Here comes the bad guy. This is the good part. Yeah.
In
the play. Yeah. Now the ultimate
He's
challenger.
like, now the
awaits.
ultimate challenger awaits. Like, here comes the bad guy. This is the good part. And then you have the fucking Shima Sen, like, boing, doing, 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 like, or whatever. Like, and then boom, and like it just all like lines up so well as like a parallel to the stage play. And I was just like, oh my god, this was so well composed and represented. This is so tight. What a good idea.
I want to retract my statement after looking back. I don't know what I was on. I don't
Laffy. Laffy is back, dude.
Yeah. He was tripping.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. But I really love how the author is not like shy of showing like the brutal damage that Chihiro, can and will inflict upon other humans. Like this double spread where they're falling and his blade is halfway through dude's throat already, and then
then his head is falling on the huge panel on the next page when he lands on the stage, and then they gave another panel to this nigga's severed head and decapitated body spilling blood over the side of the page, and then the super cold side glance from Chihiro afterwards, like, yeah. And it's like, it does such a good job to represent what Hirohiko, or whatever his name, the message that he's trying to convey to Chihiro, because this is something that's really important when it comes to villains and antagonists in these shonen stories, is that when the main character has a very strong conviction and a very strong moral outlook, you have to challenge that, and you have to, introduce writing that, like, kind of contradicts, what the main character is kind of going for, and kind of make them step back and go, wait a minute, am I doing things correctly, actually? Like, am I fucking up? You know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, introduce that, because, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, truly altruistic main characters who, like, never waver in their convictions or whatnot, but I just personally think that it's a lot more interesting when you introduce villains that truly challenge that ideology and have them take a step back and go, okay, wait a minute, am I wrong? Even if they ultimately come back and go, no, I'm not wrong, and here's why, you have to challenge their psyche in that way in order to create the drama that's necessary for the main character's arc to be truly compelling, in my opinion.
Creating a scene where the main character is like, he like, all these people were scared of Chihiro. Chihiro does look like the bad guy, and to everyone else who is here, if Hirohiko gets up and starts beating the shit out of him, then they will look at Hirohiko as the hero, some guy who just happened to be at this theater watching this play, and then some crazy man came in cutting people with a sword, and thank you for saving us. You got this guy up out of here. So yeah, it's a stressful situation to be in, especially when you're someone like Chihiro who, is fighting for justice and shit like that. And it's like everybody's
like, wait a minute, I look crazy right now.
It's a crazy situation, and it's like that could also kind of be part of the whole, like, defeating Enten, like defeating the person, as a whole, like the idea of Chihiro right now is seen, everyone else's mental image of this guy is bad. He's a villain. He showed up, he cut the dude's head off. Oh my God, it's a monster. We got to get out of here. So,
yeah. And like, just like this last page, he's like, don't you see? You look crazy right now, Dogberry.
Yeah.
But still, Chihiro is just like, nah, cut the bullshit, bro. I know what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck what these people think. I know that I'm doing the right thing. And it's like, sure, that kind of contradicts what I was saying just a moment ago. But you never know. Like, he could get through to Chihiro in the way that I was mentioning, in a later chapter or something like that. I just hope that at some point in time, Chihiro is like, dude, maybe these villains are spitting to a certain degree, and like, maybe I am trying to do the right thing the wrong way. Even if he snaps out of it later, I just want there to be like that small amount of conflict in his character eventually, because I just love shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, they probably should go down that route, but they could just pull like an anti-Yuji, to where he's just like, no, my convictions are right. I feel strongly about this. You're not going to challenge that.
Yeah. Which would be fucking tight in and of itself, you know what I mean? If like, they kind of try to like set up the idea of what I was talking about, where his like convictions will waver and he might like start to second guess himself, but then it's revealed that he never did, and he was always ready to stand on business and be 10 toes for like everything that he's doing. Like, at least if they kind of lean in that direction a little bit, just to pull the rug out from under you, like eventually later, like that still works too.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like a really big fan of like the, oh no, did I choose the wrong path? Like, have I strayed too far away from like, my original goals here and my original, outlook? You know what I mean? I just love that shit.
I really like how the first person from the Hishaku that Chihiro really gets the chance to talk to is this kid. And it's like, he probably wasn't even around or in the organization or whatever when Chihiro's dad was killed. Since he's so young, he says he's 18 now, and his dad was killed 3 years ago. So this kid, being 15, he probably hadn't yet got scooped up, so he probably wasn't involved or had anything to do with the murder. I mean, child assassins is a common thing, so he may have been there on the day, but it's very possible that this kid just joined recently, and he's just star assassin with flying colors, and now he's just getting to know another kid in the same kind of industry. And it's like the last guy he met from the Hishaku, he didn't really get to talk to. The dude was just kind of on business, and then he bounced. But this kid seems to be interested in talking and at least trying to get to know him, even if it's just a distraction. Like, start talking, it'll take you off your A game, because now you think, maybe if he gets his heartstrings wavering a little bit. But I think Chihiro's seeing that tattoo and it's all red. He's not hearing none of that shit.
Yeah, it's almost like this antagonist is like a weird combination of Mahito and Shigemo Haruta from Jujutsu Kaisen as well, the nigga with the hand sword who was like like androgynous or whatever. We like didn't know like what his like gender or sex was like for the longest time or whatever. I remember that being like a point of conversation in the Jujutsu Kaisen community like early on, like Jamini's box days. Like, is this a dude? Is this a chick? Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like a interesting like combination of the two, like personality wise, and I'm totally fucking here for it, honestly.
Yeah, super fun character. Can't wait to see him actually like really throw hands, because I mean he's obviously got skill. He dodged Chihiro's blade and he bounced, and he's confident, man. This dude is not worried, even though like this weapon that is capable of crazy things, mystical magic damage. He's just kind of talking to him and dancing around, flipping around, throwing out papers and shit, doing whatever he wants and just fooling with him.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely seems like his main goal is just to keep Chihiro distracted at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's not trying to engage, he's just trying to keep him busy.
Yeah, he's about to activate next chapter for sure, though, and I'm so ready for that.
Yeah, this was a good chapter. I'm ready to see. That was chapter 52, so officially like a year's worth of chapters. I mean, it's been a year already as of like 2 chapters ago, but 52 is how many weeks are in the year. So we're gonna say that's the official year and see where we go with the next one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm good off that. We as they say in show business.
No. They don't fucking say that shit.
As they say. Anyway, so I think that about does it for chapter 52 of Kagurabachi, and that's going to round out the Shonen Pulse podcast for this week. If you like this episode, make sure to tell us that by hitting that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to our channel. Drop comments below if you have anything to say, or if anyone like Knox has any bad takes during the episode. Feel free to let us know. If you think squunge is a good word, we're going to keep using it regardless of what you think. And be on the lookout for stuff on our Twitter, and follow us on Twitter if you aren't already. We're going to be posting updates there. Sorry the episode was late. We'll probably do some more conversations about like the Dandadan episodes and stuff. We haven't really decided on how we want to talk about the anime stuff, but that's going to cover episode 3. So that's going to be it, like I said, and see you guys next time. Have a good one.